whether any criticism I have of Breakin Convention is dwarfed by the fact that what they're doing is amazing and that it's an important platform, and whether it's one platform of many or it's like the main platform or however you want to see it, it's like the entire UK scene would be different if Breakin Convention didn't exist. Welcome to the capsule, everybody. Woo, we're back in the house. What up? This is a high energy start, which is sure to go down
now.
Because Abe is not here.
Should we start again?
No.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
What?
Was that, I don't know. Did we not like that? Was this the wrong audience?
No, I loved it.
You have to commit.
And then you have to keep it now because of this.
Yeah, you just have
I'm
to
just used to like Abe jumping on the wave, and then when he doesn't, when there's no, you guys just look at
sing
me.
it with your chest.
Okay, I don't have a good
Chest? You have a great chest.
Okay, well.
Okay.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the capsule. We are back in the headquarters, back in the house, back on the sofa. We had a few weeks of interviews because we were at Swindon Dance. If you haven't listened to the other podcast, definitely go and check them out. We were at Swindon Dance. We recorded 3 interviews. I put those out, and coincidentally at the same time got really sick, so wouldn't have been able to record anyway because I was lying here on this sofa for days on end.
Just without a microphone. Days
on end. So that was fun. But yeah, we're back, and that is all I have to say for that. Those Nyako, the pod I did with Nyako, the 2 reels I put went super viral.
Oh,
we're going viral.
Oh, sick. Let's have a gander.
The one of Nyako where he's talking about hip hop freestyle, like it didn't even go dance viral. It went like making numbers. Yeah. Like it's got nearly 10,000 likes, and it's got 100 and let's see if my thing loads any quicker. That would be great. Okay, cool. Well,
we've reached the worldwide web audience.
Can you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why aren't they there?
It's not loading. Oh my god.
It's 191k.
Thank you, Sophia.
Sick.
191,000. And then I collabed on that reel with Nyako, so I thought, when he accepted it, boosted, right? But the one with Alex, where I'm talking about Alex, it's like the capsule account collabed with my account, and that one's on like 2,500 likes, and it's on like 40,000 views.
Let's go metrics.
So those 2 reels went super. I don't know why.
Well, sometimes you never know when the algorithm is going to be like, today you are the chosen one.
You win.
It was like when AIM shared like Brooke's thing,
and it went mad,
and then they had 30k followers.
Yeah,
like,
true.
What did they share?
They shared
an
clip
old
of
Judge demo.
Yeah, from Summer Dance Forever, but from like 4 years ago.
That Brooke had already posted.
Yeah, and then it was like,
I noticed that AIM's following is.
Yeah,
it was from that one reel.
Really?
It got like millions of views. Like
no
something, I don't know how many's on there now, but like a few million.
Interesting.
And then they just bumped up in followers and just got super
sick. There is no rhyme or
I'm going to post all of Brooke's old Judge demos.
That's a strategy.
That is,
and just see which one works. Sophia.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
Sophia's with us, guys. She hasn't been with us for a while, actually.
Sophia, I am back.
She's back in the producer corner. Jenny has a cough. Do we have some news?
Yes,
this
we
week?
do have some news.
Okay, good.
The list is a bit long, so
we'll
sit down.
We don't need
sit back, relax. It's like at the cinema. Okay, so first off, as always, let's start with some winners. Wow, this is very like echoey. Okay, sorry.
Sophia wears headphones for the first time ever.
No, it's like anyway.
Well, my voice in my ears.
So let's start with some winners as usual. Let's congratulate Sheku and I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his name, but Alion. Yeah, like alien, but I think his name's Leon. Okay.
I would assume Alion.
Oh.
He's from Ireland, but he's part of Primal Instincts.
Yeah,
Dope
exactly.
B-boy.
They won the 2v2 Open Pro category at Check the Style in Italy.
Let's go.
And also a little mention mention for Stephanie, who came second at the VDSF European Championship in Spain last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know, recently, let's say. That's a good
It's
standing
really
to be in. They're actually in Montpellier
Yes.
now
as we speak.
for the FIS thing. You know, we did EFIS.
Yeah.
So it's another one in that whole range of like Olympic geared WDSF events.
Yes.
So the Breakin GB team are out there now. I don't know, as of right now, I don't know what the results are or anything, but
Yeah, she was representing Ukraine, but we thought that we will mention it.
yeah, she's from London.
Yes. Some auditions that we saw coming up. First off, Far From the Norm, the audition.
But they're not auditioning for the company, are they? That's for a training
it's for
program.
a training program for this summer.
Cool.
It's like 2 days a week for like a few weeks.
Nice.
But if you want to get into the company, it's probably a good idea to audition.
Yeah, I read the
Definitely.
copy for it. I thought it was really cool. It's like it just makes sense to spend a prolonged period with people.
Sure.
But it is an audition for the company,
Yeah.
but like
But you get
filtered
paid, don't
through.
you?
Yeah, not
little
much though,
fee.
but
It's-
still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like for the whole thing is like $750 or something
Okay.
like that. Yeah. Yes, so they're doing this in the final stage of their development for the show Mama that they're preparing
Nice.
or performing already actually.
Sick.
So the deadline to apply is the 19th, so it's this week. So
Nice.
better do it fast. And the audition will be beginning of June. So
19th is which day this week?
Friday.
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 You might hear this the day before it comes out.
Yes, get to it.
Go now.
And also another edition coming up is Avant-Garde is looking for 7 dancers for production for this summer, and the audition will be on the 25th of May.
Boom. When's the application deadline? Do we know?
I don't think we know.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Just get them applications in soon.
Exactly.
Don't use ChatGPT. It's not.
I mean, it's probably a video they have to send.
Yeah, probably.
don't. Oh, really?
Well, you don't like send
You
a
probably have
written
to fill out an
application.
application. All right, fine.
Fine.
It's not a useful tool.
Do you use it?
No,
Oh,
never.
no.
Yes.
Do you? Do you?
Have you tried it?
No.
It's so good.
What do you use it for?
Only certain things, so you'll never know which things I do and don't use it for.
Fine.
I'll talk to you more about it afterwards, but it's so good.
Okay.
Copywriting.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Yes. On other positions, there's also Just Us Dance Theatre. Wow, did I say that correctly?
Just us, not
Dance.
justice.
Sorry, Just Us Dance Theatre. Looking for a company manager and a chair of the board. So check out their page. And then we have some events coming up.
Yeah, we do.
So this Saturday, Adidas and Sunny are organizing a battle called Earn Your Stripes.
Hell yeah.
I like the name.
Yeah, that's a good name.
It's really nice.
Owen also smashed the flyer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good flyer.
Yeah, with the shoebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. So that will be at the Adidas store in Oxford Street, and it's a 2-on-2 breaking battle. They have 8 guests, and you will be able to qualify for the 8 remaining spots, basically.
Can we talk about them prizes, though?
Yeah, the first prize is a £2,000 cash prize, and the second one is a £1,000
Voucher.
Adidas voucher. Yeah, to use.
It's when you get them corporation competitions
Yeah.
with that prize money.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah,
And also, coincidentally, that's the same day as the London qualifier for Dance Your Style. However, breakers aren't allowed to enter Dance Your Style.
yeah, damn.
So that works out perfectly.
So
That does
everybody's
work out
happy.
perfectly.
Everyone's happy.
Ah.
Great.
Because I think that was like in the people I was talking to is the first reaction of like, why would they do it on the same day? But it's like breakers can't enter. So actually it helps.
Great.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Spectators will have to choose, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, so talking about Dance Your Style. So yeah, on Saturday you have the London qualifier, which is the last qualifier for the finals. That will be on the Sunday.
Yeah.
The qualifiers start at 12 on Saturday, and from 3:30 there will also be an Afro dance competition hosted by Homebros called Bring the Vim.
Yeah. We're going to
so
talk more about Dance Your Style later on anyway. So
Yeah.
stay tuned to the rest of the pod.
Yeah. And Sunday, like I said, UK finals starting at 3 o'clock at Battersea Power Station.
You?
Yeah, I'm interested in where that they're planning to do it.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We can
because where they
speculate.
did it before, look, like that was great. No,
Yeah,
the Tower
I
Bridge
love that
place.
venue.
But let's hold this for that
The
section.
topic.
Yeah.
Sure. Do not discuss
Follow
the
the
news.
outline.
Simply state the
Jenny,
news.
Jenny
Do
and
not
Sophia
discuss the news.
Jenny and Sophia have both told me we need structure, guys.
Yeah.
So
have
I'm
an
trying to
outline.
have structure.
Have an
I haven't
outline.
been here for a while, so I'm rebelling. Sorry.
Don't, because I'll follow you. I hate structure. Yeah, go.
Next battle coming up. Sorry, this is not in order. I think this one is next.
Who made this list?
I'm trying my best. Next battle coming up is Battle Cage, organized by Bird Gang on the 28th of May at Stanley Arts. They will have a 1v1 hip hop and a 3v3 crew battle with twists like concepts and callouts. So check out their page.
That is so close to. It's literally
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really close from here.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think it's so far because
Yeah, it's
We're
far
far,
from
yeah.
everywhere else, but yeah.
yeah. And sorry, this list is very long.
It's okay. Lots of things happened while I
yeah,
was
it's a good
Yeah.
thing.
dying of shingles. Yeah.
Of the shingle.
Yeah, go on.
Multi-Styles Battle, or MSB, is coming up on the 4th of June in
Gloucester. I know you're
Gloucester.
struggling with your French.
Gloucester.
Do you like? Yeah, you're like
Gloucestershire, as I like to call it.
Gloucestershire. Yeah, Gloucester. There we go.
yes, there.
I saw her face. I saw her face go. What the fuck?
There will be 1v1 breaking, 1v1 hip hop, and 1v1 popping, and some workshops. So check out their page on, what was the name of the page? I'm sorry.
Your next move.
Your Next Move,
and
that's it.
I know Mufasa is one of the judges that has been announced. I haven't seen her do hip hop for a while, so that'd be interesting. And I don't know who else. I know Fame's DJing. Shout out to Fame. We're going to try and get a pod in because last year we did a pod and drank during it, and
Nice.
it's never seen the light of day because of how drunk we got.
I think, you've mentioned this to me before.
So yeah, hopefully we're going to do a sober one or a less drunk one.
Sick. And this Friday, Work the Floor is organizing a battle called On the Spot within a J Dilla tribute. I think it's at Red Bull.
Can I tell Tally what you said earlier?
He's not very good.
No,
Or he's overrated.
I was like,
Even worse.
He's shit.
No, even worse.
What? Who is he?
She's like, who's Jay Dilla? And I was like, Sophia.
That
Listen,
is
I'm trying
that.
my best.
But it's a generation thing, but still. Yeah, well, come on. Like people who are like, what year were you born?
2000.
Yeah, but in
That's what I meant.
like as a member of the hip hop dance
Yeah.
community, one
Yeah.
would think it's okay, no judgment.
But to,
Who?
yeah, go on.
Oh, what did he say about? I hadn't seen Ghost or didn't know what.
The Patrick Swayze?
Yeah,
I don't know that
fine.
I've actually seen it.
What?
Yeah, but
I know what
you've
we're doing this
heard of
weekend.
it.
Watching, yeah, I know the whole reference of the doing the pottery
But there
and all
was
that.
someone. It was just a name that I just said, and there was a who, and I was just like, oh no, like we've
Yeah.
really hit a wall now.
But you know, it's like one of. Wait, that's another. Yes,
Yeah.
news. Back to the news. Yeah.
She's the rebel.
I would have. Yeah.
Sorry.
And back to
Just
you.
have a counter. Should have a counter in the corner of the screen. How many times I take us off track?
Tally tangent.
2. Tally tangent. Wow. Tally tangent.
Ding.
That could be a drinking game.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Tally, you announced some workshops coming on.
I did.
For III. So can you tell us more about it?
Am I allowed?
Yeah. It's news. It's news. It's part of the news.
Well, one's maybe not so relevant to the capsule because it's somewhat contemporary, but one of my
I
senseis,
love contemporary.
Erica Sobel, will be here on the 30th of May.
Sick.
And then just for a 2-hour workshop then, but then in August we have Marcin Rebelas from Poland doing a deep dive, so a 2-day intensive.
Sick.
I skipped the Poland training camp
Okay.
section of the 2000s.
I only know about SDK. Oh no, that's Czech. Where's Poland then? I don't know any others.
FNF and I'm in, no?
You might have to.
I know. I've heard about Iman. Well, yeah.
I just skipped, there was like,
It was a thing.
it was a whole thing, no different really than the LA pilgrimage of
Why
its time.
Poland? Why was that such a hub?
But I think they just had great events
Okay. And they
and
just had the money to
curated
bring, yeah.
great, like brought in great teachers.
Oh,
And I
okay.
always
I didn't know
skipped
that
it,
was a
but
thing.
I've taken class and met Marcin twice, and he's just so good. And he's probably the purest like street styles person I've hosted so far.
Oh, really?
Joker is coming. He will be coming. Nice. I haven't arranged it yet, but he's on my list and he knows it. So Joker's, your dreams will come true.
Yeah, and also we've been talking about, I want to get him on the pod for like forever. So
Joker is absolutely, I'm gassed for that one. I've not even trained with him, but it's just,
I will be
happening.
at that one.
I will be at that
Book
one.
me an early bird ticket.
But yeah, thanks for shouting them out.
Of course. Yeah, that's it for the news this week.
Cool. Well, thanks for the news, Sophia.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all. Cool. And we're running on time as well. This is wonderful.
Yes. Look at us.
Beautiful.
Look at us.
So
with
there
a bit
was
of
time for
rebellion
your
in the mix.
Yeah, there was time for your tangents.
A little contingency time.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for that, Sophia. And also shout out to Sophia.
What you done?
Releasing some bangers of a video recently. She did one with In the House. What other ones have you done? I feel like you've put out like 2 or 3 like bangers in the last.
Yeah. I've done a lot of it with there was a fly.
Oh, okay. I know these fucking flies. Anyway.
Don't get us started.
Yeah, I filmed like with In the House quite a lot recently because Kiara was leaving.
Yeah.
So we did like a few projects together.
Okay.
So check out also visuals and In the House.
And check out The Graduate in the corner.
Oh, it's that's what I thought it was about. I was like, this is uni related.
Ugh.
You did it.
Not officially done her graduation, but officially
But the
finished
learning
course.
is done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
not
for
going
you.
anymore.
And I'm about to go
Congratulations.
tomorrow and mark her work.
Do you get to do the whole like hat and gown thing?
Yes, on the 7th of September.
Sick. Do you throw it? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Do you put the one on the other side like that? Is that a thing?
I think that's
a
the thing.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, you put it on the other side and then at the end everybody throws.
Did you go to
Throws.
uni?
No.
Me neither.
I did, but I didn't go to my
Drop out.
graduation ceremony.
Did you drop out?
Yeah. Well, I'm being dramatic when I say drop out. I did a foundation degree. And then it's kind of a long story, but basically I got my certificate of higher education, but I didn't get my actual diploma.
Because you
Even-
dropped out.
No, because I didn't do my retakes for one module, even though I passed everything else. It's a long story.
Dropped out.
Dark period in my life. I didn't drop out. I did the whole course.
Well, you didn't
But you did.
I just
finish
didn't
it.
do the retakes for one module.
So
One half of
Is
a
that a
module.
choice?
No, it was a mental breakdown.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, just,
I'm done.
yeah. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this. I can't, if I come back, I'm not going to be able to do it. And then by the time I
you could have done it.
worked through it, I missed my,
Right.
so they were like, well, at this point now you're going to have to
Damn.
retake the whole thing.
That's a bit frustrating.
Yeah. So for all
But look at you now.
intents and purposes, I have a degree, but I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree, but I have a degree.
Yeah.
Nice.
Me too.
Yeah.
I passed everything except for, just don't come to me for accounting help, but I passed everything
But
else.
Tally's here for that.
There you go. Boom.
Dream
See?
team.
It takes
Oh,
a
I didn't even
It
go,
takes a village,
so.
but you could have. I'm sure the skills are still there.
To account.
Somewhat.
To what
That
we do.
is what I was going to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had a place. So, hey.
In uni.
Yeah.
Oh, bang. There you go.
I got in.
Let's go.
Just didn't
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah.
So if you need to, I don't know. So Nike
Yeah.
Yeah.
owns the floor.
Yes.
So Nike did their first, I want to say ever, although that's probably not true, but they did their first dance camp in Barcelona last weekend. As far as I know, the dance camp was in, let's say, celebration of their new campaign, which is called Own the Floor. Subsequently, the camp was called Own the Floor. Now, the thing that I'm a bit confused about is that there's some stuff online, like adverts and stuff from last year that have the tagline Own the Floor. So I
Yeah.
don't know if this is a long rollout
Right.
or if it's a revived thing or why it's not, because it seems like they're going ham as of now.
Right.
But maybe they already tried to roll some stuff out and kept it under the same name. I don't know. Anyway, so if you search Own the Floor, you'll see more than just this. But so they have a campaign which is heavily featuring people like Diablo and a few other people who I don't know and you might know. I don't know if they're on here. But anyway, they what did they do? Last year, I don't remember what it was, that battle in Paris. They did a big battle in Paris. We talked about it on here.
Oh yeah,
and Diablo was kind of their figurehead of it, and they had
like
invited teams, and it seemed to be like a really big event. I think that was part of this, and it's all part of Nike's
reactivation.
Yeah, reactivation of their dance thing. Bear in mind, this is not insider info, this is from me, but yeah, so they're kind of making their steps back into dance. I can't imagine it's motivated by anything but the Olympics, which is similarly, after the announcement of the Olympics, we saw Karam and Stephanie get sponsored. We also saw Sunny get sponsored, and I think it's going to snowball, and leading up to and potentially afterwards, we're going to see way more stuff with Breakin. Even we were talking about the Lacoste advert with Breakers. It's going to start happening.
But even I think, like, I don't remember when the Olympics were announced, but it's been like a while in the making that they were reactivating the dance thing, because it was from pre-pandemic days, like 2018, 2019. Yeah, because that's when AIM started doing stuff with Nike, and they brought back Serious London.
Remember that the Youth Olympic Games came first, so I wonder. Obviously, it's their job to see these shifts in culture. So I wonder if, because the Youth Olympic Games were kind of an unofficial trial for the Olympics. So if it went well at the Youth Olympic Games in Argentina, they would have kind of greenlit. So once that went well, I wonder if it was from those times that they were like, oh, let's start.
Right.
I don't know. It might not be, but
makes sense.
Wonder what made them like pause from all the stuff that they were doing before with like Sophia and Kimberly J and stuff.
But maybe it was just the approach wasn't working, and maybe the in with this.
Well, yeah, because they did that whole dance shoe that no one needed.
Oh yeah, I had a pair.
Did you?
Did Kim J got me a discount
like split
or
soles?
something? No, not those ones. They were a different pair.
Oh.
Maybe they did multiple. Imagine some jazz shoes. I had a pair of those. You know who helped me buy my jazz shoes, or told me where to go? Didn't help me buy them. Told me where to go and which ones I should look at. What's the dude from Pineapple? Louis. What's his name?
Louis Spence.
Yeah.
Oh,
when I used to go
that.
Pineapple, he was working at reception, and I was just like,
hey.
Yeah, I was like I didn't even know who he was, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to find somewhere to get jazz shoes for my college course.
Capezio.
And I went to Block in Covent Garden, but he was like, yeah, go there, like he's showing me stuff like use this, and just go down there, turn left, like really helpful. And then afterwards I saw him on TV, and I was like, oh, he helped me buy my shoes.
Nice.
Anyway, all that to say, so the Own the Floor camp is really interesting actually. Basically I was supposed to be in Belgium, didn't end up going Belgium because partially shingles, but also partially I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. But if I wasn't going Belgium, I probably would have gone to this.
I didn't know it existed.
It wasn't super in advance. I think it was like 2-3 weeks max in advance that they said it.
Right.
So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is actually really good for a camp. I think some of the camps that are longer, like all week, it's like hard for people to take the whole week off work and whatever. But Thursday to Sunday is possible. So they had all sorts of stuff. It looks like obviously Nike don't do things small. So it looks like they had this whole area kind of booked out, and they had all sorts of stuff going on. I spoke to Lucia, Motherfunk, and Kane about it because they were both there. Ooh. They had really good things to say. They said it was really nice. Bit of ups and downs with the weather, and a lot of it was outdoors. So I think they had a bit of an issue with the weather on maybe Friday for some of the stuff. But apparently the classes were sick. They had also they have tattoo and nail art things happening. You can go get your nails done, go get some design on like bags or t-shirts. I think you could go, and they had like you might have seen on social media already, but they had like a fisheye lens underneath like a glass pane, which is actually like such a really simple setup, but it's kind of cool. And you can go and dance on it, and like you can make as many videos as you want all day long if you want stuff for your social media or whatever. Which is cool.
Very.
They had workshops. They had with Diablo was there. I don't know Trina, but she's a dance hall person. Soleila Chow for hip hop flamenco, which is interesting. Nelson and Day did popping. Diablo and Stella Muerte, used to be called Style C, if you know him by that name. And a few others. Is that Fleur? No, that's not Fleur from the Locker. No, that's a different person. Anyway, so there's all sorts of classes. They also had a battle on, which looks like maybe the Saturday. Can you scroll down, Miss Sophia? Yeah, on the Saturday night they had a battle. So AIM Collective went out there to, because they're a Nike partner from the UK, so they went out there, and Yana, Lucia and Martina were guests for the battle.
Cool.
Which is cool. I'm assuming it was like an all styles type of thing. And then Kane and Carl went out and also joined the battle as guests, but I don't think they were originally programmed to be guests. I think when they got there it was kind of like a
right
jump in, we want you to be guests, which is great. You know, it's shows the benefits of being proactive and not sitting around and waiting for stuff. And also they said they did some workshops and stuff. Kane told me a very funny story that he did Diablo and Stalamerte's class, and at the end they got chosen to like do the routine, and they just died apparently doing the routine, and like Diablo and Salamerte were like laughing their heads off because it was funny like how much they were dying. And Kane was like, these are like my two favorite dancers for my whole life, like they've never met them before. The first time they see me dance, they're laughing at me.
Up in flames.
So he was like, but you know,
he could see the funny in it though.
He wasn't saying it in a bad way, he was like laughing at himself, but I was like, oh man, I know how much that hurts.
For sure, if they got picked up though, it's like, okay, they saw that they were killing it, and then it's in the moment, then you're like, oh shit.
Which is the most relatable thing, is like you're killing it all class, and then you get picked and you're like, what is this?
Also, like Kane's not a choreo head, is he?
I don't think so.
Like,
I think
he's
he's done
quite good. He's actually quite
not
good.
in terms of ability, but like it's not what he does a lot.
Oh yeah, no.
Like
it's not a comfortable, like as in like him doing prelims, he's probably not even thinking about it, but to do class and get picked out is probably a different.
It is a thing, like to be amongst the room and just doing your thing and then just like yanked out, like
and do it in front of everyone, and also put some sauce on it.
Even just doing it in a different, you know, in switching lines and stuff.
True.
Like sometimes even that can take a minute to like
readjust.
So
that's true.
Yeah,
I hear you, Kane.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I feel you, babe.
Oh, I've died so many times. Actually, not on stage though. I don't think I've messed up big time on stage. Fingers crossed.
Tally tangent.
Go.
Debo is doing another screening.
Oh, sick.
But like Shadows of the Mist and Plague, like, and Flawless and stuff. And did you see Seven Deadly Sins?
No.
Calvin Francis, man, he flames up the place.
Was it just one performance of it?
Yeah, I think we only did it once.
That's
flamed
hilarious.
up the place. I have to show it to you. It's brilliant.
We have to put it out on the pod.
So sorry, Calvin. I'm sorry.
He's like, speaking of
Calvin
dying.
Francis, locking extraordinaire, UDO judge. Another thing.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Many other
Hilarious.
things. Yeah. I'll post it on my Vimeo.
So yeah, from all accounts, the two accounts that I heard, it sounds like a really great event. I saw some bits and pieces from it. It looks sick. We have to also shout out Carl. Why can't I say that name? Carl.
It's like
When if I say it in like an American way, I pronounce the RL like Carl. But if I say Carl, like in English, like how do you say it?
Carl.
Yeah, it sounds like Carl. Like Carl. I feel weird saying it. Carl Malonzo.
But my main question is, who the fuck is Carl?
You know Carl?
Who's Carl?
I don't know.
Oh, so sorry, I should have explained first. They're both like, yeah, Carl.
Carl.
Okay, after we've said his name 50,000 times, Carl is from Wales. And I think he used to be in Synergy. He came up with like Lauren Scott, Jordana, these type of people. Super dope hip hop dancer. He did United session with Kane last weekend in Poland, and they got to the top 4. I think, I love you, Niako, and other judges, but I think they won that top 4. However, I wasn't in the room, but they put on a really good show. So they went out, yes. So this is Carl and Kane's kind of similar generation hip hop dancer, similar.
Same collectives.
Yeah, they train together and everything, so they're tight. But apparently, from what I hear from multiple sources, Carl lost his battle in what I want to say is the top 4. Apparently, there was a lot of people who saw the battle were a bit like, don't know if he should have lost that one. But apparently, when he lost and whatever, and then as he's like walking off, like apparently the crowd were like going mad, to give it up for him, like whoa, you were. And apparently he actually like killed it as well. Like the round was sick, but Yeah, from what I heard, it was like the
Controversial.
or not. They weren't even like booing or pissed. They was just like everyone was like, "Whoa, you're
Like
amazing!"
he was highlight.
Yeah, and like people were like, it's like, "Oh, give it up for the two dancers." And then as Carl was walking, everyone was like, "Whoa!" Like,
Yeah.
and there was like a real like reaction to him, which is like, for me, this is kind of the thing I try and talk to people about a lot. But it's like that for me is carries you further and means more than a win. Like there's been wins of people, you get the prize and you get the, you won, you can take the picture, but nobody remembers your rounds or nobody gives a shit. It's like, it could be like 6 years and somebody's gonna be like, your car, I saw you killed it at that one thing. And it's like those memories and that, like when you actually evoke a feeling or an emotion from the crowd is way more important. Like if you can capture audiences like that, is way more important than just ticking boxes or winning,
We'll get to it. Well, I guess it relates to any event, but I was talking to someone about entering a battle and they were like, I haven't been training, I won't win. I was like, in this day and age, you need one round.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you literally need one round.
It doesn't have to, and it doesn't even have to be the final. It could be a quarterfinal.
It could be your prelim.
Yeah, for real.
Like if that gets captured and, if it's great.
You don't know when the algorithm of life is going to choose you.
That's a good phrase.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, it's true. And it's like,
like whether that's good or bad is up for debate.
I think it's great. And I think actually it's always been the way, because I said this so many times, probably on this pod so many times, sorry, loyal listeners, but like nobody hires a guest or a judge actually based on how many wins they have on paper. They hire you on your reputation, on how exciting you are. So if you're a guest, you're brought in on the what do you call that? On the understanding that you're going to make the event more exciting or more something. It might be like, all right, we've already got this type of dancer, we need someone that's like a bit different, or or going to bring some followers or whatever. So it's like, being a guest or a judge really, judges, you have to have a little bit of experience behind it. But even as a guest, it's like, you're not there based on anything on paper. No organizer in the history of the world, I'd put money on it, is inviting the guest and then going, oh, well, can we tally up their wins and see who won more than that? It doesn't matter. It's like, do you have a name? Are you hot shit right now? Are you making people stand up and clap like Carl did? That's what's going to get you hired as like guest and stuff like that.
Word.
So yeah, and I think that's always been the way. I just think it's more prominent now. So yeah, they did the camp. It sounds like it was sick. Shout out to AIM and Carl and Kane, who are out there representing the UK.
Let's go.
And yeah, I think that's all about the camp. I don't know too much else besides those bits. It sounds really interesting. Barcelona seems like a great place. Kane said they met loads of people and, connected with different dancers and stuff and shot some stuff, which sounds dope. And that's what traveling's all about, really, is like meeting people and, making friends and stuff.
Oh. How
and
wholesome.
I am very wholesome as a person. And yeah, so then obviously this is not going to be the only thing you see of this. So this Own the Floor thing is going to probably be bigger. There's going to be more stuff. I hope there's some stuff in the UK. That'd be lovely. They also released the advert. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
No.
I haven't seen it in its entirety. No.
Karam posted that he was a part of it and like a featured thing. So I think it's...
Oh, but I saw some people being like, on a night shoot. So I guess
so I think there's like...
Yeah.
Quite a few people, because it's like a big crowd and stuff. I think Karam and India were like two of the main main featured breakers. There's other people that were like probably hired to kind of be around, but I think those two were the main feature. And there's also some other people who I don't recognize, but might be other style dancers or whatever. So it's also a very, I have to say, Nike do adverts well. This is their thing.
They know how to do an advert.
They know how to do an advert.
They made me cry.
With this?
No, with their adverts.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, like the one that was, well, maybe not like cry, but got a bit.
You felt things.
The Leomi one. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like the Voguer from New York.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and it was about like growing wings and all of that, but it was just like really the ballroom community and like they always have these like inspiring speeches over the top and like beautifully shot. I love the one that's about women too, the one for International Women's Day, that's like, if they call you crazy, let them. All of these is like,
and there's
bangers.
a basketball one from when I was a kid of like they're bouncing it on the beat and then they're passing.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is like legendary for us as kids. We were like I say kids,
Yes.
like teenagers. We were watching this and trying to be like them in the advert. It's really like a legendary thing of like that time. There's a really funny Family Guy parody of Nike. Have you seen it?
I think
No.
I've seen
Oh,
that.
it's so good. I wish we could like play it on here, but it's too much. But it's so funny. If you can look up like Family Guy Nike advert parody or whatever, they kill it as usual. So let's check out this advert. All that to say. That's India. And that's Karam. Diablo.
This is the moment. Everything else melts away. I
Sick.
can just be.
Their styling is always on point as well.
The dance floor is freedom.
If you don't know India, go and check her out. She's
Yeah, I didn't.
fucking
When I
sick.
dance,
Never heard. I
bring
didn't
all
know.
of me.
Oh my god. It's like she's so good and so good for how old she is. I don't know exactly. She's like maybe 19 or something.
Wow.
But she's like, or maybe even younger, but she is sick. She's killing it with the WDSF events at the moment. She's done really well in the
For Great Britain.
No, she's from Holland, Amsterdam, Netherlands.
Sick.
Yeah, she's sick. So definitely check out her. And yeah, I don't know if there's any other Nike stuff happening, but yeah, they know how to do adverts. They kill it. And you know what I was thinking about that advert, which is cool, is like they make it consumable for the average person, but for us as dancers, and when I was doing basketball, like basketball players or whatever, it's not cheesy for us. They find a really it's a really
Yeah,
thin
yeah,
line of like,
yeah.
because even that stuff, like when it's like a crazy cipher and like Diablo's in the middle and it slows down and it's like this is when it all melts away, it's like you're cheesing it up a little bit, but that kind of is how it feels when you're like in a crazy cipher and you're just so focused on one thing. It's like you've done a good job of making
capture it well.
yeah, without it being like a you got served. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really good. Yeah, that's it. So that sounds cool, and looking forward to seeing more of what they do, and hopefully more stuff in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen. So next on the agenda
Yeah.
Who's
is
next?
Breakin Convention.
Woo! Review time.
So I was supposed to go to Breakin Convention,
So
and
was
I was supposed to do a review of what I thought on the Saturday night, which was the press night. Massive shout out to Sadler's
Yes.
and Lucy at
Yes.
Sadler's, who was very kind and invited the capsule to review the show. Now, when it came to the leading up to the week, Luke started to feel shingly, and on the night of Breakin Convention, I was writhing in agony.
Writhing in agony.
he was
Very good.
peaking.
That was
Peak
top
pain.
If you've never had shingles, guys, first of all, don't Google image it. Second of all, it's one of the most painful things, legit, and I'm not exaggerating, on the level of my neck tattoo pain, but for 8 hours for 3 nights, pretty much 2.5 nights.
He slept under a tripod.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Because I could, yeah, you can't say that without context. I had also like fevers and flu symptoms, so I was like freezing. But if I put the
Sweating.
blanket, it's like on my side and it hurts. So I had to, I put a tripod in the bed so that I could put the covers over the top, have space underneath, and like it was actually worked perfectly. I was like, this is great. They should invent a little thing for that.
It was
Um,
my idea.
Yeah, it was Jen's idea, but it was sick. Anyway, so that's where I was on the Saturday night.
So back to Breaking Convention.
Yeah.
Shingle shangles.
So in my place, the lovely Genevieve Lou went to check it out and to bring us her thoughts, because she is also a very, if you don't know, Jenny is not only the person that comes on here and just throws in funny comments. She also is a producer who works heavily in the theatre
Yes.
and contemporary dance world.
Yes.
Yes.
she's not going to say this, but I'll say it, pretty fucking high level in what she does and knows her shit and has a lot of experience. Just couple of light trips to China later this year, couple of light trips to Australia, you know, been in Saudi twice last year, just traveling the world, producing, learning. So yeah, she knows her shit when it comes to theatre stuff. So yeah, Jen is going to regale us with her tales of Breakin Convention.
Yeah.
Maybe some highlights. What do you think of the whole event? Tell us some stuff.
Okay. I think, okay, in terms of the whole event, like, okay, here are my thoughts generally speaking.
Yeah, let's
and then
start general and then go
I'll get
specific.
into, exactly.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, I think it's, you know, I've been there for a few years now. And I mean, I didn't go last year, but I have been to a couple editions. And, you know, I think that one of the thoughts that I had this year being there is like, you know, previously I kind of had mixed feelings about the fact that it's such a mixed bill, you know, with some pieces that are very like more experienced theater, like real, not necessarily like real theater, but
That high concept.
Like that's their
narrative kind of stuff.
and then some that are very like kind of showcase and like youth companies and all of that. So it kind of creates like a very big range in what you experience. But at the same time, I was thinking, okay, let me just appreciate also the experience of what it means to be there, to be on the same stage as a youth company, as, you know, people that you might look up to. And also the fact that I think Breakin Convention is its own thing and it's kind of part of the institution of the UK hip hop scene. But the fact that it's successful and that it is that very mixed bill is that often because there isn't enough other things that are out there, other hip hop nights that are out there, we kind of put pressure on Breakin Convention
To be everything.
you know, and it should be more like this or it should be more like that. But no, there should just be other things that offer a different experience.
And one thing is, I mean, as we spoke about this on the podcast with John Z, but it's like, it's a platform. Even John Z doesn't think it's the only platform. It's like, he might, you know, that's also what, you know, the pressures of being the best. But if you're up there, people are going to start putting, like, you should be doing this. Like, you have to cater to all the real theatre. You have to cater to all the youth companies. You have to cater to everything from every country. And it's like, yeah, also there's, but it's people's brains don't work like that. They don't think, oh, I'm going to start my own theatre show to
have a different, to offer something
or
else.
to cater to the niches that Breakin Convention don't cater to. And it's like, it's also, it's people's, you know, it's his platform and they can do it how they want, which is, you can't really ever, I mean, now I'm saying that because it's also how I feel with the capsule, with people tell us how to do things, but it's like, yeah, it's one platform. Yeah. But it's a fucking good one.
I have to say though, it was a long evening.
Is that 4 hours, huh?
Like a show started at 6. I was leaving by like 10:30, 10:40. Yes.
One interval?
Thank goodness.
One interval.
Yeah, I think my question would be around the like standing people.
Yeah.
And if they did, why? Yeah. And also, did they enjoy it? Because standing for 4 hours is a while.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I was like, you know, because we had the press tickets. So I was with somebody and she was like, oh, I usually every time I come, I'm in the pit. Like, let's go in the pit. And I was like,
no.
You suit yourself. I will be
See you later.
right
Upstairs.
here in my seat.
Yes.
But yeah, so, but you know, it was a lovely evening and it's kind of like Christmas for dancers a little bit, you know, it's like everybody is the reunion. You see a bunch of people you haven't seen in a long time. So I'll just kind of go through a few highlights.
Yeah. What were your favorites? So bearing in mind, there was 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. This is only for the Saturday, so we missed a few on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Special shout out to Lauren Scott, because I really wanted to see her piece.
Same.
But it was on the Sunday. I mean, I was sick anyway, but it was on the Sunday, so I wouldn't have been able to see it. But I do want to check it out. She is one of my favorites of that generation.
She did III, didn't she?
Yes, she had great things to say.
Oh my goodness, what a G.
Fun?
But just fun fact that I offered to go to her. She didn't have anyone to go to her tech. So I offered went a week early.
Oh, Talladega. That's hilarious.
That's not a me thing.
Yeah.
She told you the wrong date.
No, she didn't.
That's not a you thing. Like, you wouldn't usually do that.
I wouldn't usually do that.
So did you actually get there to Sadler's?
Yes.
That's
and I was
hilarious.
like, I'm here for the BC Tech, and she was like, "There's."
Oh, you actually went in and
show.
spoke.
I don't know why in my head it made sense that they were taking it a week
early,
prior.
yeah.
I didn't know, like a programming
Fair.
thing. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
But I think it's when we spoke in person, she said next Thursday, or that's what I heard. So when she
As
sent
in
me
this.
What?
had the
You thought
coming
it was
one,
the coming one, yeah.
but then when she resent me the screenshot, I was like, "Why are you there?" I said this. I was like, "You did."
You're like, correct.
And then you were busy.
Yeah, I couldn't go, so I missed it. But she is such
She's great.
a gangster.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
visuals of it?
Yeah.
It's like on the box
plinth,
and
yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Anyway,
Turn
back
back
to the
to-
things that someone
Yes.
here did see.
Yeah, we're talking
Yes.
whole load of talk about stuff that we never saw. Yeah,
So
we've got the Breakin convention topic. Me and Tals
We
will take
got it
this one.
covered.
Yeah,
So highlight for me
Yeah.
was, or one of the highlights was Max
oh yeah.
Ravel.
Shout out to Silky Silk
I loved
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah.
with his clothes on backwards.
Yeah. With
Crisscross. We'll make you jump. Was that the soundtrack?
No.
No, okay.
but
I'm surprised you know that song. You don't know J Dilla.
Come on. Oh.
I think it was just such a beautiful transition or adaptation of the how much illusions and characters are a big part of popping, but translating that to a theater context and a theater stage,
Yeah.
and kind of course the technique and the dance vocabulary, but also these elements of the dance that are so predominant. I think how that goes into how that's used as a storytelling tool, and in addition to the fact that he's a great dancer, but I was just super in it the whole time, and I think I'm not sure how long it was exactly, but it was about 10 minutes, but I just thought it was so, beautiful to watch, but also you kind of got into a story, and it's just in terms of popping and putting it in a theater context, it's one of the best that I've seen that if we're not talking about showcases but more
theater work.
storytelling.
Sick. And I think obviously Max works with Akram Khan, and he's works in theater, so he's understanding a bit more stuff, but it's a whole different set of way of doing things. If you're popping for a battle or for a showcase, it's very different from how you fit those things. You can't come in with the same way of choreographing or way of performing, I guess.
So that was kind of one of my, that was one of my highlights in terms of pieces of the night. I also really loved the Ghetto Funk Collective piece. For me,
Was it a piece?
well, this is the thing that why I liked it so much. It's this is the highest, or not the highest, but in terms of doing a showcase, this for me is how a showcase should be done.
Right.
As in, what do you mean by showcase?
In the sense that it doesn't have a narrative or a very kind of a storytelling.
Right, it wasn't like a traditional dance theater.
But it's a showcase in a sense that it's very much about the energy and the vibe on stage, and highlighting the different dancers, and kind of showing that. But so there was a lot of choreography, but there was also a lot of moments for individuals to stand out, but where it's not just okay, now you have 2 counts of 8, and then they have 2 counts of 8, and then everybody looks there, and it was super stylish. The music was really good. There was moments that they introduced bits of set where it's okay, you're in a different section, and they transition where it's not. Sometimes I feel showcases can be okay, this is piece number 1, this is piece number 2. So, and the way they did it was quite seamless, and it had a bit of humor and playfulness in it.
Nice.
So I was, and of course, also that's without saying that the level of the dance was actually
Great.
they're just insane.
Terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really good balance between choreography, highlighting, and you can see that they're all freestylers.
Well, that's interesting because it's something that I was a little bit disappointed with them when they performed at UK Champs, which I think was maybe a year or 2 years ago, or maybe even a while before that. I can't remember when, but they did basically I was hoping it would be a whole because I love their
Right.
solo stuff and all the videos they put. So I thought it'd be like a choreographed,
Yeah.
and it was a bit more like 1-2-1, like
Right.
showcasey, just taking turns to do solos. I felt so. It sounds like this is maybe an elevation of that. So maybe they've like
Yeah, so I was watching it, because sometimes when showcases go, for me, it's like, this is very my personal opinion, but sometimes when showcases are like more than 5-6 minutes, I tend to be like, okay, we
I'm done.
we get it.
because there's no through line or story
Yeah.
keeping you going.
But then,
check out my structure and presentation video. Yeah,
but then this one, I said like, oh, I could watch another showcase
Right,
like this,
right.
Nice.
like no problem.
yeah.
So I think those are the two that really, really kind of stood out for me
Sick.
as thing. But another highlight of the night that I was not expecting that had me crying,
Okay.
Crying,
yeah, is that
laughing.
no, like
Oh.
emotion,
Oh,
yeah,
inabilities.
no,
Oh,
is that
let me guess. No, joke.
it's not on there.
It's not a piece.
Oh,
I know what she's gonna
okay.
say.
Yeah,
so I
so-
do now.
The legendary twins, which are two breakers from New York, that I think they're credited with being the first
Yeah.
breakers to like go down on the floor. So
Yeah.
prior to that, it was rocking, so everyone was dancing standing up. They were the first ones to take
Or at least like pushed it, I guess.
yeah, to like go down on the floor. So they came to Breaking Convention to give Jonesy a recognition from the state of New York.
And it's from the Breaking Hall of Fame, I think.
Oh, okay.
I want to say I'm going to look that up because I'm pretty sure it's from the Breaking Hall of Fame.
Right. So, but it's a recognition in from the state of New York to Jonesy for his contribution to hip hop culture
Amazing.
in the UK and generally, and they read the whole statement, like the whole
Yeah.
thing from New York City, and it was so, I mean, it's kind of a standard thing that everyone who gets that award gets, but it is like in recognition of what you have contributed to your community and to a culture that lives in a community, and that is what cities are made of, and that is what all of that. And Jonesy was just
In bits.
balling, yeah,
Yeah,
bawling
his
on
caption of
stage.
it is like, "This is the reason I was bawling on stage."
Yeah,
So Johnsy, this is the article from
The Guardian, I
The
think.
Guardian.
Tell by
says-
the font.
Yeah, Johnsy D turned down an MBE when he was offered one for services to dance back in 2011. But on stage at the 20th edition of Breakin' Convention, the hip hop theatre festival he founded, he did accept a more meaningful award from the State Assembly of New York, birthplace of hip hop, for his work promoting the art form. Two of the original B-boys, Keith and Kevin Smith, aka the legendary twins, turned up to present it. And his caption is, "This is the reason I was bawling on stage."
Yeah. So I think and they were saying that they're now building the first museum of hip hop in New York City,
Wow.
and that
Why does it take so long? Anyway.
yeah,
It's only been
TikTok.
50 years.
But that they were gonna make sure that there was a place for Jonesy in that
Oh, wow.
museum
Oh, wow.
for how he had been part of developing hip hop internationally. And I think it was, I don't know, for me there was also something, so special about him being recognized by people who, so I was talking about this, but he's maybe somebody that people look up to get his recognition and his
Yeah.
approval, so for him to have a
To get
generation
that,
above
yeah,
him
yeah.
to recognize him, and also to see kind of a grown men on stage.
A grown man
Crying.
cry.
No, but not cry, but in a sense like see and recognize each other,
Yeah.
and receive it and be
Yes.
grateful.
And like you start to see that it's like, because I think sometimes when you see people in positions of power or these gatekeepers or whatever you want to call them, you only think about your position relative to them. You're like,
Yeah.
why doesn't Johnsy like me? Or I'm happy Johnsy likes me, or I get programmed for Breaking Convention, or I don't get like you're only thinking about you in relation to them. And then I think when you see something like this, you see that we're all that for in a different place. So he's
Yeah.
probably thinking like that of other people, and it's probably not only the people as legendary as the legendary twins, but like it's probably other people that like you would imagine, like you start to see that crack, I guess, in the illusion that he's some, I think when we see, how do I put this? But like when we see people in these big positions of power, especially when we really want their recognition, we imagine them sitting in a throne, just like, no, yes, like doing,
Yeah.
and it's like, they're just people like us who are trying to make their way and do the best they can. And it's like, I think it's nice for people to see this side of Johnsy and to see that you know, these things mean something to him, and it's like he's just a guy doing his best, trying to do what he can for the culture that he loves. You know what I mean?
And it's like he
you
had a
see that.
vision. You know, he had a vision. Like it was the 20th anniversary actually, so he had a vision probably like 25 or 30 years ago of like this thing doesn't exist. I want to make it, and this is what all the artists that are trying to do something have. But then when you reach,
Yes.
and so for sure, people don't do things for awards, but it's also nice to be recognized and to be seen by other people, and also by your own community and by people who were at the origin of it. So it was all
pretty
very
sick that it was a recognition from outside the UK also,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because they have no reason to, like, they're not trying to gain his favor. You know, they're just literally saying that based on its merit.
And I think it was something like they were meant to give this to him like when
Pandemic, maybe?
yeah, but the pandemic happened, and then
Right.
like they brought themselves here
Oh,
to give
really?
it to him
Wow.
in person. So it was
Did you do... We have like Vice Bingo all the time. You didn't do Harlem?
No.
There's
I
definitely...
wish. That was one of the only ones I didn't do. Oh, no, not one of the... That's the only ones I wished I did.
There is something very... Because they were there then. But there is something about being like amongst it.
Yeah.
Even
Because that
if
was
it-
Harlem Apollo.
Yeah, like
Legendary venue.
wild.
Yeah.
We were shitting bricks.
I bet.
And we've done that set so many
Yeah, true.
times. But you can just like feel that you're doing something.
Special,
in a
yeah.
historical place.
But amazing that they came over, and amazing that he displayed emotion. I think
Yeah,
that
that's
adds
nice.
an
And
issue
I
or
think
something.
also the legendary twins, like they were also it was a whole moment between all of them of like showing
Giving
love,
and yeah.
receiving it, and then just all like everybody sharing that moment together. So it was super special. I won't make it too long, but I'll just mention a few other things about the thing. So there was also a Breaking Convention youth dance company that performed.
Is that new?
I think so.
They've never had a youth dance company before, have they?
Yeah, I think it's from last year.
Oh, yeah?
Like
Yeah.
it's really, really recent.
Okay,
They had
yeah.
auditions.
Yeah, which was
I never knew of them having their own I know they did project with the youth, but having their own company.
Yeah. So they did a nice showcase, and
Good
then
audition.
Gully South
No, I'm
Block.
too old, actually.
Gully South Block also did a really nice crump piece.
I love Gully
And,
South Block.
Yeah.
They're
are
like-
so
Yeah.
For me, it's like what I love about them is like there's some dancers that are great at their style,
Yeah.
but there's other dancers who are great at their style and look fucking cool while they're
Yeah.
doing it. And I think
Talk it up.
looking cool while you do something it's not an official part of what we do,
Yeah.
but it kind of is. And it's like there's people that I've seen that are like, it's almost like the nerds of the dance scene who are like amazing, but it's like you don't make it look pretty. It's like you just do the stuff, and on paper you're great, but and then people like Gully South Block who are like technically great at what they do, but just everything they fucking do looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
And
You
like
have yet to put a foot wrong, my G's.
Yeah.
So good.
Shout
I
out to
saw
Gully
you did
South
it Far
Block.
From Broadway,
I
and I
haven't
was just
seen
like,
it. You know what they also remind me of a little bit? Well, no, not remind me of, but what I kind of like is that I like us having a good crump group that puts on showcases, because it makes me feel like they're following Wipes' legacy.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it was Wipes were always the crump, Wet Wipes, for those that don't know, who were like one of maybe the original crump crew in the UK, and some like fucking legendary people. JD Reed, the music producer, if you don't know him, he was in it.
Dominant.
Dominant Ricardo, who you've worked with, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Wipes are amazing. But every time we did these like showcases or like any of these whatever, Dancers Delight, all of that, it's like they were the crump representation. You know, there was always like maybe like a house piece and then like a crump piece. There wasn't really many popping stuff in those days, I don't think, not straight up like pieces in that realm, but there was always like a group that came and represented crump and like killed it, and everyone loved it. And I feel like Gully South Block are like that now.
I've just seen them, and it is similar to Wet Wipes in like the scope of the work they do, but like it can be a really lo-fi just shot of one of them. It can be a showcase thing in a more generic showcase way. It can be like they know composition.
Yes.
And like I'm just like, you're very good and you're from fucking ends. I'm so here for it. Do not stop.
They have this talent, like you were saying about composition and like the structure and stuff, where like they have this thing where a lot of their showcases, they'll start in such a fucking sick atmosphere. Like they'll do something where they'll all be standing there with their hoods up and then they'll just like, a sound will come and they'll go boom. And I'm like, oh, I'm in. Like just one moment of that.
So sorry,
like,
Jenny. You're probably looking at us like this. Get it back.
Yeah.
They did, very excited.
We love
they
you.
did that Dancers, I think they did Dancers Delight one year. And there's just this like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
that's one of the things I had in my head. It's like a little like groove thing that is like,
You're very
who made
clever.
that up?
You're clever.
And it's a thing of like you can do almost nothing.
Yeah.
But you just make it. It's
You just make it
the
look
swath,
Here are your
the
flowers,
swath.
lads.
Yeah.
Really good.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Fan. If you got merch, I'll buy it.
I actually would.
Same. Not mugs.
Maybe make merch.
Because you got capsule ones, you don't need any more.
But I think, yeah, and this time they had like, because I don't know exactly how many people are in Gully South Block, but they had like a lot of people on
Sick.
stage. So I think maybe, I don't know if they had
Probably like
students
extended
or
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like moments that it was kind of the core group, and then moments that there was a lot of them on stage. So I thought it was also cool to see, you know,
Work with a big group. And
yeah. So to create different atmospheres, and
Sick.
I have to say, for me, stand out in that piece, Chiron. I think
Kyron, yeah.
Kyron.
Jake.
He was in
yeah.
Trap Lord, yeah.
Yeah, and also Quake, which was in the Breaking Convention piece, and then right after the Gully South
No.
Block. So he like,
Oh, Quake was in it too. Okay,
Yeah.
because I don't think he's in GSB. He's
Like an
Right.
affiliate.
Yeah.
I don't
Wait.
know.
yeah, he is.
Yeah. He performed with them on Friday.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay, fair. Maybe he is new in it because I
But
didn't
like
think-
Definitives are on stage as well, and
I
they're
think-
they're not in it. So
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
like a lot of like new like.
Oh, maybe
young
they
gen,
just
like,
recruited.
Like also the D-Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like also performed with
So
them
if they
too.
recruited people like that, they're gonna.
Yeah.
yeah.
You were
So,
already good. I didn't know you had these heavyweights as well.
but also I was like really happy. I mean, because Quake has just been doing so good in the battle scene and just killing it. But
Such a hard worker.
I was just, I told them also it was just so great to
Oh,
see him.
yeah.
To see him on stage
Yeah.
and, you know, kind of really pushing himself, and you can see that he's really going at it and just
Yeah.
working on different aspects of his dance. So I was like, when I saw him in 2 pieces in a row opening the show, I was like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, and he also did the
Yeah.
piece at Tais's thing platform,
Yeah,
like doing his
solo.
own. Yeah,
Yeah,
putting
he
his
did
like. So he's really pushing himself in different ways.
Yeah.
I think, which is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there were a lot of other pieces. The show, like I said at the beginning, the show was 4 hours and a half. So
Yeah, there's a lot of
There
pieces.
was like a
All right,
lot of.
whose did you hate the most? No,
Yeah, I
I'm
was going to
joking.
say,
Don't-
no, fine. But do we get a take on
Yes.
the twins, or are we staying
Yes.
away?
I mean, here's what I will say.
Oh, I wasn't even there. Oh, yeah.
I was very underwhelmed.
Whelmed.
So-
Fine.
But and this is why. Like for me, there's no denying that Les Twins are like amazing dancers and that they've been trailblazers for
Hip-hop.
the street dance
Yeah.
scene and hip hop and you know kind of crossing over to mainstream. But and you know I also understand that in the mixed bill of Breaking Convention, like we said, there's some that are very
Showcasey,
showcasey
some that
and
are-
some that are theatery. So you know my expectations are always like I'm not sure who's gonna be doing what.
Right.
Yeah.
But their showcase was legit. Like one of them gets up, freestyles to a full song
From a seat, right?
yeah, and while the 2 others are sitting in the back, like, ah, like over, you know, gassing, but like, you know, if you're in an audience full of dancers and everybody in the theater is like, okay,
yeah, that's-
and you're on stage going crazy,
Yes.
like it's kind of.
It didn't feel connected.
Or I understand that you're supporting the person who's dancing, but
Yes.
also there's just something that doesn't feel really honest about it.
Mm-hmm,
So you know, in my head, I was like, oh, I don't know if, you know, I don't know the conversation or the context of how they were programmed. If you know, they just programmed to come do a freestyle on stage, and
Right.
or if it was supposed to be something else, and that's what they did. I don't know. So, but kind of given their level and their stature
And headlining.
and headlining, it's kind of like I would expect at least
Like what Ghetto Fun Collective.
a
did.
minute of choreography, or not choreography, but a minute of like
Unity.
of we've thought about this for more than 5 minutes.
And the thing is, shout out to Jonathan Burrows' choreographer's handbook, which I gave Sophia to read as one of her capsule homeworks. But he does say in there that like we spoke about this, but like that improvisation is a valid tool and blah blah blah. However, the unfortunate reality is that if you're in a space where something's choreographed and you don't do choreography, you just do solos, there is a bit of a preconception that is like you didn't spend the time preparing, especially if you're freestylers. You know what I mean?
Well, listening to it changes immediately if you're not all sat down on chairs watching and like screaming from behind the dancer. Like if it was just, what would it have been, 4 solos?
Yeah. 3 actually. Yeah.
Still like, it would have been nice if it was a bit more fleshed out, but it formalizes it a lot to just spotlight human rather than, but maybe, was that their concept?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was like an idea of how they wanted to do it.
I guess, you know, and for me, it's like, okay, you make the choices that you make, but I was watching this.
And it's also valid for you to be disappointed as an audience member.
Or not even
That's fine.
Yeah, not even
just
disappointed.
you had questions.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny is I spoke to someone who's a contemporary dancer.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it and she was like, oh yeah, they were sick, because she didn't know them before. She was like, oh, they were really good. And and I was like, oh, even like you didn't have any issues with it. And she's like, no, they were amazing. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
That's the only time I've heard that.
Yeah, I mean, but also it's like people in our world, we also are maybe we have expectations. Maybe if you've never seen them dance, you're like, you're probably going in not saying all this, what we're saying about choreography or setup or structure. You're just thinking, wow, there was an amazing dancer on stage. And you're not really, and probably, to be honest, a good portion of the reason it was sold out was the Twins.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I feel like Breaking Convention pretty much sells out every year. Like, or it gets close to it. So it's not like the ticket sales are low and then all of a sudden it was super high.
Yeah. That's what I wonder, how many people were there for the Twins, or if it was just a sold out show that they were in.
And then kind of quickly going through
we don't need to go through all the rest of them. Yeah?
You don't? Okay.
Unless there's any that you wanted particularly.
I mean, I really enjoyed the Ill Abilities one. But I feel like they just kind of always deliver at a level, and you know, that's kind of
seasoned performance.
Yeah, and you know that at their level of performance, even if obviously the concept of the crew is that they all have some form of disability, it's like you forget about that when you watch them. You know,
which is probably the best what they wanted.
Yeah. Compagnie Nicolas Huchard from France.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
It was
Nicolas Huchard.
Also like very, very strong dancers. I mean, I had some thoughts about the piece, but generally speaking, like
solid.
Yeah. Boy Blue, I mean, what you think you're gonna get from Boy Blue?
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it was a very enjoyable evening. Mover from South Korea were also like also very good, also very, I think sometimes what we imagine, oh yeah, like a Korean b-boy crew theater piece or showcase, like you know, they do crazy power moves and you know, so yeah, that's kind of it. Enjoyable evening.
Cool. Shout out to everyone involved. Sounds wonderful. Congratulations on 20 years.
Yeah.
I was there on the 10th anniversary. I performed on the 15th anniversary and then got shingles for the 20th.
Hey, look at that.
So yeah, honestly, big congratulations. And I think, you know, we can always have opinions, and I'm very strong in my opinion that we're allowed to critique and have criticism for anything that someone does publicly, whether it be an event, whether it be a piece. Like, I think as artists, we need to be critiqued and we need to criticize other people in order to learn. However, that's not to say that, you know, whether, you know, any criticism I have of Breaking Convention is dwarfed by the fact that what they're doing is amazing and that it's an important platform, and whether it's one platform of many or it's like the main platform or however you want to see it, it's like the entire UK scene would be different if Breaking Convention didn't exist. It's like you said, it's like a meeting point. It's like a Christmas for dancers. It's somewhere that we can all go to year after year, know there's a certain level of brand consistency. Like, you know what a Breaking, it's not going to suddenly one year be like in a weird venue that's hard to, it's like, it's always the same place, it's always the same sort of vibe.
It's a staple.
It's a staple of the UK community. So I think it's and they do great work in between the shows. All the other stuff they do, open heart surgery, back to the lab, working with the youth company now. So I just think it's like they do amazing things, and it's important that we, as without going too much into this, I think as people in the scene, in especially in a kind of more closed community, when people start to do well and start to break out, we have a tendency to like
Drop off.
yeah, or like pull them back. And it's like, no, like we want everyone in our scene to be successful and to get paid and to do, oh, but you're getting paid too much, or you're doing things well, but in the wrong way, or I want you to do it like this. And we do this and we chip away at these people that are breaking out. And it's like, even if you disagree or don't like the way that somebody's doing it, any level of success, which is like, you know, breaking convention or even like lower level success, that opens doors for the rest of us. So I think there's someone was telling me this and I can't remember what it was about. It was maybe about certain communities. I don't know if it was like Mormon communities or so. They used an analogy, but it was like basically we work internally. Like we only go to our barbershops. We only go to our shops. So it might be like maybe black communities as well have this, where it's like we go to our people. But if there's an issue, we deal with it in-house. We don't go and bitch about you to other people. We take it to you and we say, I don't like the way you operate business, but I'm coming back next week to get you to cut my hair. But like we don't go outwards and pull people down, because we still want our community to thrive,
Right.
even if we disagree internally. And I think we need this a bit more maybe with the hip hop scene. Like we need to disagree internally, but not like tear each other down when people are starting to do well. And I think, and this is me towing the line as someone that's now a self-proclaimed critic, but like I think there's a very thin line that you need to be aware of between tearing someone down and criticizing. I think criticizing is fine, and critiquing and giving your opinions, and I think we need that, but we also need to elevate these people that are doing amazing things, because that, even if we're never going to be on Breaking Convention stage for the rest of our lives, what they're doing is going to open doors for the rest of us
in some way, shape or form. Even if it's teaching a community class in Islington, it probably came because someone went to Breaking Convention. You know what I mean? So that was just my little speech that I've been holding in for a while, but I think it's really important. And let it out.
yeah,
Hold Tight Nava, that celebrated their 5th anniversary and co-hosted the Breaking Convention after party.
Killing it.
Wonderstroke from the BC team, because I love you so much, but the after parties ain't always kicking it. Michelle knows I think that is fine. Yeah, I think.
is it Nava or Nava?
Good question. What did I say? I said Nava, didn't I? But I think
Is
you're
it
right. Stefan
stand for
says
something?
never. No, I don't think so.
So what is Nava? No,
So what does Nava?
What is it? Where did it come from? We
I don't know. We can ask him. But yeah, happy 5th anniversary
Doing
to
great
members
stuff.
of our lovely scene.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Created this delightful thing that we all get to share. They've actually got an event on the 26th.
8th, I think.
That's the Friday, isn't it? Yeah. It's a free one that they do every last Friday of the month.
Oh, that reminded me. That night, did you have more to say on that?
No, but I was going to go to the Ruggeds if
Yes.
that's what you were going to do. The
Same
handsomest
night.
crew in town are coming back, guys.
Yeah, and another shout out to Sadler's. This time, I believe it's
It's still,
Laura. Same team.
it's still Breaking Convention, no?
It is.
Is it
I
Breaking
didn't think
Convention?
it was, but I saw they posted
yeah.
in it is. It is
Yeah,
BC
so
Presents.
They're bringing back the Ruggeds for their show called State Shift, and Sadler's have given me and Sophia the invite to come and
Fun.
review the show.
What day?
Friday.
I'll be there Friday.
Bang.
Oh.
You can come on the pod if you want to.
Yeah.
So we'll the week after the 26th, probably, I don't know when we'll release it, but before.
Are you going to try and get them on?
Well, we were
TBC.
going to.
Fine. You tried.
No, it's not going to happen.
Oh,
The schedule's too tight. I'm landing from Sweden that morning, seeing the show, and then I think I had the Saturday free, but they're flying out Saturday. It's like,
Not all of them though.
okay.
Lee's here a while.
Okay, well, maybe I'll reach out to them personally, because this was like, I think Sadler's didn't want to push their schedule
Sure.
because they're tight on the schedule with Sadler's.
Right.
But I think maybe if I reach out to them
Yeah.
personally,
I'd say
maybe
so.
you guys. But yeah, I would
Soz.
love to have them on.
whoopsie.
Yeah, sorry. If you're like, we don't want to go on there.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
they're like, we're busy.
here for ages. They'll do it.
They're not doing anything.
But I've seen the show. I saw it when I was in
Oh, you
Amsterdam.
have?
Yeah,
Amazing.
but I saw it in a much smaller venue, and this is main stage, right?
Yeah.
Yep. as far as I know.
Mad.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's
And this is-
really good.
And I was really impressed with the last one.
It's just a duet and a solo this time as well.
Ah. Oh, it's not the one that they toured when we were touring with Roy and the Flexible one. No.
No, with Simon.
Yeah.
No, this is Roy and Lee, and then
Well, that's a good
Sky
combo.
Chief.
As a solo.
Yeah, with music from Jesse.
Ooh.
They're so clever. Like I've said this to them, like they have shows for every setup.
Every combo of people. And
Like
No,
they've got the fun family
the family
entertaining
show.
one. They've got like the super conceptual one. They've got the one that's just a few of them, so it's easy to travel around. Like
Hashtag repertoire.
is this a good producer decision?
Yeah.
yeah,
No, as in not. Is it good? Is that who made that decision to do that? Is this like a producer strategy that has been put in place?
I mean, I'm not sure. It would make sense. Like, I think in thinking about what the offer is and also making smaller productions that are easier, like, because in the last one, I forget the name, but the family show, like they have a
The bed-
not
the one with
family
all the
show, but-
rooms.
Yeah.
I want to say Just Us,
What
but it's
was
not
it
Just Us. It's like
called?
oh my
Between
God.
Us or
Between Us.
There you go.
was
I
close.
would not have got there.
But yeah, I think this one is like, if you think of the size of the production, also it's like for sure that's a cargo, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
of the set. It's a
expensive.
lot of dancers. It's more expensive show, so it's like this one is a smaller cast, maybe more of a, you know, where a smaller venue could probably afford to bring this, and where the artist, you know, it's for a different audience. So I think, yeah, from a producer standpoint, like that would make sense as a strategy to be like, okay, that's where a lot of companies make money from touring. So it's like, okay, what shows do well on tour? If you have a cast of 7, that's a full company, but everybody has their own project going on too.
Yeah, especially breakers if they're battling.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff.
Where if they're not all available, then you can't tour the show.
Right.
Then that it becomes like restrictive for the income for them. So I think it does make sense to have a repertoire
Yeah.
of different sizes, different productions, different
Here's your
audiences.
flowers, lads.
We love the ruggeds here
Keep
at the
doing
capsule.
it.
So next up we have this weekend Red Bull Dance Your
These
Style.
melodies, man.
I sing like an angel.
Next
So
up, we have this weekend.
that's much better than what I did.
That was terrible for me, actually, because I can actually sing.
If we have any producers listening, please sample the capsule and make us a new intro. No, don't, because our intro is nice now. Shout out to Creator. How you do that? So we have a Red Bull Dance Your Style this weekend. So we have, as Sophia mentioned earlier in the news portion, on the Saturday, at the same time that the Adidas battle is happening, but you can't come if you're a breaker, so it's fine. From
I mean, they can come, but
in the morning, there's a cypher battle. So from 11 to 12 or so, there's 25 spots available. So first come, first served, I assume. Cypher jam, and yeah, it doesn't say what the winner gets. Then after that, I don't want to say times because it's probably going to change because it's an event, so it will it will probably change.
no, but usually Red Bull are good with keeping time.
We'll see.
Okay.
Because it's
No
a
shade.
it's a bigger event than it was before. So let's see how on time it, like, you know, it might be a few minutes or whatever. But then they've got the actual Red Bull London qualifiers. So they've had Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow qualifiers. Now they do the London, which is the 4th, and the 4 winners, I guess, will go into the main thing. So that's the London qualifier on the Saturday, and then as soon as that's done, oh, by the way, they're taking 6 people from the London qualifier. How that's going to work out, I'm not sure as yet.
Mathematically.
Wait,
Well, as in format wise, so it might be that, because last time what they did was they did a normal battle from top 16, and then the top 4,
Yeah.
they didn't battle after that. They just did to the top 4, and they said, right, you 4 are in. So you're
So 4 went to Joburg.
no. As in,
sorry.
this is the Saturday to qualify for the
got you,
Sunday.
got you.
Yeah.
So out of the London one, they'll choose 6 people. So the format could be, what I would do if it was me, is I would choose the top 24, depending on entrance. Then I would battle down to the top 12. Then I would battle down to the top 6, and then say those 6 are through. I don't know that they know how they're going to do, or maybe they haven't announced how they're going to do it yet. It might be, there's multiple ways they could do it. They could also just do an open prelim and just choose 6 out of that. I don't think they've announced it yet. However, I do know they are choosing 6 people.
But that's how they've done it in the past brackets.
And go down. So I don't know.
It's probably like that again.
Yeah, I'm just saying they haven't announced it, but I'm just speculating.
Well, it's going to be nail biting and electrifying. Apparently,
that's what it says.
Ooh.
Then they've got Bring the Vim, which is really cool that they're doing two events on the same day.
Yeah.
So it's Home Bros are basically hosting this event. It's an Afro dance concept. Apparently it's a never seen before concept. So I don't know exactly. It might be a battle format. It might be some twisty battle format. It might be something. But it's a Afro dance event, basically.
It's a battle, I think.
You think it's a battle? Okay.
They posted literally like an hour ago saying, "Come down and see some of the dopest." Oh, they forgot the word. Some of the dopest Afro dancers in the UK battle it out in this new event full of concepts and unique twists.
Yeah, but battle it out could be used as like any type of competition.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
My
It could be
bad.
like so we don't know. Anyway, we're speculating. But
Come find out.
what I think is cool is like they're kind of expanding year by year of like what they're offering. And I think also we're talking about the venue being at Battersea Power Station. And from what I hear, I think it's going to be a little bit bigger with some like stalls and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And
Nice.
now there's 2 events on the Saturday, the thing on the Sunday. And so I think even last year, you know, they had at the Scoop. It was huge, but then you also had like the little Champion store and a bar. So it's like I think they're seeing scope for it to build out as a more of a festival vibe, which I think is the way to go for this. I think I would agree with that direction that this needs to turn into like a festival type
there
weekend.
used to be Sprite Urban Games in Clapham,
Yeah.
and it was like BMX and breaking and skating. And I imagine it similarly
vibes.
was like tiny, but me and my mate used to go. I don't even know
I used
if I
to
was
watch Urban
dancing
Games on
yet, but
TV.
it was just the best thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think I danced yet, so I was there
It's
for the
just a cool
skating, but
fucking
it was just
thing, yeah.
a really cool thing. So yeah, if this expands into something similar, it's
Yeah,
very cool.
and they've got like showcases and stuff that are happening. Go down a bit, Sphere, on the thing. Bit more, yep. So they've got, in the morning on the Sunday, they've got, it says like music performances, free giveaways, 360 photo booths. So they've got little bits and pieces going on. Work the Floor dance workshop, which is cool. Wavy on 8 skate performance. I Got Soul dance workshop. So they've got all these other things happening, and hopefully like from here in the next few years it will like expand out, and there'll be maybe multiple stages, which would be really cool, and different things.
Surprise halftime performance from a music baddie. I've got my
Ooh.
suspicions.
Where?
Scroll up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Halftime performance of half of the.
No, up more.
Keep going.
There on the Sunday bit.
Yeah.
Watch out for our special guest host and a surprise halftime music show from a music baddie.
I think it's that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would make sense.
Because I ain't never been with a baddie.
I don't know.
Who I've still not seen perform live, so that would
Interesting.
be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense because it's a very UK based
Yeah.
And you know,
Dancer.
a dancer.
thing. Yeah, and the World Finals are in Frankfurt, Germany. So there will be, there's been winners. So I have actually an exclusive.
Exclusive.
It's as if Abe.
I know.
Yeah, shout out to Abe.
Oh, Abe, TB, miss you.
This is the wild cards official.
Oh.
And the winners. So the only hiccup was that Slayer he won in Birmingham.
Yes.
And he battled Kieran Lay in the finals, who also went to Joburg last year because he had won a few years ago. Long story, we talked about it last year. He battled Kieran Lay in the finals in Birmingham. Slayer won. Shout out to Slayer. I love the way he's growing and maturing as a person and as a dancer. Another topic.
Hadn't seen him before.
Yep.
Definitely.
You seen him?
Yeah, I did a big old thing on his feed after seeing what he'd done at the qualifier.
He's amazing. And he's like young as hell.
Of course.
16.
What?
And he's like 27 foot tall. And he's a loyal capsule listener. It'd be funny if this is the one he doesn't listen to. And so is his mum, actually. His mum listens more than he does.
Nice.
amazing.
Who is also a lovely woman and really supportive.
Mama Slayer.
We love Mama Slayer. So, Kieran, I have a list of the wild cards, which is also wild cards and people that have won. Kieran Lay's name is on there. So my assumption is that because Slayer couldn't compete, if I didn't finish what I was saying,
okay.
he's too young to compete.
Yeah.
But he won the qualifier. But he's too young to compete in the main thing, apparently. I don't know. Behind the scenes
Come on now.
stuff.
Come on now.
I think, can I tell you why though?
Yeah.
There's a law that Red Bull can't have people under 18.
Yeah, but why was he allowed to qualify?
Well, that's the other question. That's
Come
something
on
that
now.
slipped through the cracks.
That's a question we don't have the answer to today.
But yeah, anyway, Kieran Lay came second.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that they've
You
put
took
Kieran
the
Lay
spot.
in
To replace.
his spot,
Sorry,
not as
moving on.
a wild card. So we've got Kane, who won in Manchester. Kieran Lay, who we assume is the winner from Birmingham. Then we have Divine, who won in Glasgow. And those are the three so far that have qualified.
Right.
We also have the wonderful Danai, who's a wild card. We have no stranger to the capsule, Dirty Harry.
So dirty,
Yeah.
so hairy.
So dirty, so Harry. We have Diva J, who I have known since she was literally a toddler.
No way.
Literally a toddler. Like I know her parents because they used to bring her, and it was her and her brother who were like lockers. This is like 2007. They were literally like, we were like, oh, they're so cute. And now she's all grown up and
And not
living her
looking
life.
anymore.
Yeah, I was going
Well,
to say,
she does-
Voga, right?
Whacking.
Oh, maybe she still locks. But that was their thing. They used to dress in the big like suits and stuff, and were
Very
Like, oh,
cute.
Super cute.
an Asian toddler fully kitted out locking.
Yeah, it's like
How
this is-
cute.
yeah.
You can never go wrong.
we also have the wonderful Fionn. We have Trilzy, Hannah.
Oh.
Yes.
We have Messiah, who is a young superstar, and we have
Yeah.
Red from Nottingham, who's also been killing it at the Kingdoms League.
I was like,
Cool.
who's Red? Frankie?
No, that's a different
Yeah.
Red. Red is Red Rules on Instagram.
Okay.
Been killing it in Kingdoms League hip hop. So
Yeah.
that would be cool. It's a nice mix of people.
Yeah, very much.
And then I think we're going to have 6 qualifiers from
From London.
So it'd be a very interesting, because obviously not these people will be in it. So then it opens it up wide to see who else could be there. Obviously we take out all the breakers who usually come to these all styles things. So now it's like, all right, from top styles, who do we have left? And that will make the top 16. I don't know how they seed it or place it, but then we'll find out the battles. And then Sunday will be a go-go.
Who's your money on from this list?
Okay.
I mean, we don't know who's
Well,
going to
and
enter,
the winner
but
it's in Frankfurt this year, Germany.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
not in,
no,
that.
but
I saw
from
that.
that list.
just-
Oh.
I'm just
Did
like
she say Joe
laughing
Biden?
inside because, with going into no detail at all, like I definitely missed my chance at ever being a part of this.
Well, you never know.
No.
You never know, but sometimes you know.
Sometimes you know. All right, so my money, so my favoritism biased answer would be Harry, because he's my closest friend.
Ever.
Well, by a long shot, but also one of my good friends in life. So, and I think he's also very good at all styles, very good at adapting to different music, very good with the illusionary side, and like performing well and structuring and presentationing his dance for audiences that don't know dance. That's why like, all the UDO stuff, they love him, and you know he kills it with that sort of crowd. However, my unbiased thing is that he's going to have to watch out for Kieran Lay, because Kieran Lay is very good at pleasing non-dance audiences. That's why
At winning a crowd over.
Yes, and that's why his social following is like the way it is. It's not by accident. He knows how to cater to the crowd that is non-dancers, and he is also very fucking good for like, even as a dancer he's very good, but for the external person, and he knows those songs that are going to be played, and like I think he does really well. So
He's a smart one.
yeah, very good performer, good on big stages, no, like used to big stages, like no problem. Like you know, it's normal, another day at the office for him to be on a big stage. So that's, I think for me, I'd put my money on Harry and Kieran at least being up there. I think also poppers have a bit of a foot in the door, in the sense that the illusionary stuff reads really well for a non-dance audience, whereas like, you know, even someone like Jordan, who's amazing, J-Funk, who's amazing, the crump thing is like, there is a danger that people are like, I don't understand what this is, and I feel like I should understand, but I don't, and he does a really good job of translating it. But with popping, there almost isn't that thing. It's just, even the most boring popper is still kind of cool, because you're doing this illusionary robot
And
stuff.
you know, are you there all that body popping.
It's somewhat
Like
familiar.
they've
Same
got
with breaking.
the reference point.
It's like even if you don't understand breaking, you still see them doing athletic stuff, and it still kind of looks cool. So popping has that element. It's like breaking and popping as in terms of the structure or the hierarchy of what non-dancers like. You know?
I feel also that popping lends itself well to like adapting to
kinds of
music,
music,
that's
yeah.
not
You
at
just
all.
need a beat to.
Yeah.
true.
Because sometimes it's like you're a hip hop or a house dancer, and then you get Britney Spears.
Yeah,
and you're
House is
like-
one of the hardest ones to adapt, I think.
Yeah, true.
House off house music is really tough. It's not to say it can't be done,
Yeah.
but it's really tough, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, so I think popping for that has
Yeah, agreed.
an advantage. But
Exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Are you,
think
are you there as a conglomerate?
we will be there. So we will. Saturday we might have to split forces, but Sunday we'll definitely be there. So we're seeing what content. I have an idea, but I don't want to, announce what will be there in case it changes. But we're going to be putting some after event content out on the capsule pages. So
Fun.
check out our stuff. We're not
Not doing the interviews and all
working
that jazz.
for Red Bull, but we're
Right.
doing
Allowed.
a collaboration.
Got access.
Yeah, we're doing collaboration with Red Bull.
Doing bits.
There'll be bits of interviews. We're going to do I want to try some new stuff, so we'll see what happens.
Thanks for the invite.
Invite? You want to come? To what? Oh no, it's not like
joking.
we'll talk about it after what we're doing. But it's more of a because last year we did the pod with all the
Yeah.
interviews. It's not going to be like that. I'm going to be more running around doing interviews, little short bits.
Roving reporter vibes.
Yeah.
Fun.
Along those lines. I want to try something we haven't done before. So yeah, that's that really. Looking forward to it. Should be a fun weekend. I'm sure everyone knows about it, but if you don't, come and check it out. Again, it's a potential for it to be like a breaking convention sort of staple, depending on how long they keep it going and how they position it and curate the events, But
I think the tickets are sold out.
Yeah,
No.
they are.
oh,
It's only 100. Like you can, no, it
Wait,
still
what?
says, no, there's only 100 tickets and that's what gives you access to all of this stuff. But you can still go because I looked
okay.
into it.
Yeah, because I was going to
yesterday.
say it's more than. It's like the first, because it says like for the exclusive access to the Champion store and stuff, like you
Yeah.
get the first 100 tickets. But yeah, I'm sure that because last time there was like 1,000 people, so
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
more than that going to be there at this one.
Just no free drinks and all that jazz.
Right. That's what the tickets are for.
Yeah.
Is you get a free drinks
all the
voucher
things,
and stuff.
yeah.
Got ya. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Shout out to everyone involved. So, shall we move on to the Eurovision?
Yeah.
And we're going to hand over control of this spaceship to Talladega, actually,
Nice.
because the amount that Luke knows about this subject is very limited.
Well, I don't know very much about Eurovision, but I can tell you that I spent the other night looking at best bits of Graham Norton's commentary, and it is so funny.
Commentary on what?
The Eurovision Song Contest.
On his show? Or-
No, so they have hosts of the Eurovision Song Contest, like on the ground hosting it.
Yes.
And then they have commentary, like in the
Like
in the gods,
national
just like
commentary.
sat talking over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's historically like Terry Wogan used to do it before Graham Norton, and it is supposed to be like
sick.
Sports.
a joke. No, but it's
Oh,
supposed to be funny. It's
Right.
so funny.
And these ones are like for him over the whole years.
Yeah.
Sick.
Really.
Graham Norton's amazing.
I'm going to send you some, like, he's laughing at himself. It's hilarious.
He's one of the best.
But this show in particular is the National Lottery's Big Eurovision Welcome, which was an outdoor event in Liverpool, which was the host city for
Yeah.
Eurovision this year. Just a big kind of celebration launch event for the Eurovision Song Contest. So it was outdoors. It was, there were 30,000 people there.
Damn.
And the whole thing was creatively directed. I thought, well, the production team told me Motion House, but from what I can see from the credits from people posting this performance, this was creatively directed by Christian Storm Creatives. And we were asked, we meaning Zoo Nation, to create a piece. It was about female empowerment, and it was to be a choreographer from the company and 12 female dancers with an artist to a song. And that remained TBC for a very long time.
Oh wow.
And it's like, we can't prep without that info.
We're choreographing to thin air at the moment.
Yeah. And then we found out that it was for Alexandra Burke and to I'm Every Woman, because she was in the Bodyguard musical.
Oh, that makes sense.
And yeah, I mean, I guess I can say a little more once you've watched it, but it was
Sure.
Danielle Rhymes Lecointe that
Who
choreographed it, and we cast the 12 dancers that you will see.
Amazing.
And I represented them all.
Oh,
as an
as an agent, right. Sick.
Imagine. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you can talk while that's the whole point of a reaction.
I was gonna say. Imagine you're like, okay, you're gonna do a piece to a song, and it's like, okay,
All right.
and go.
They're like, no, it'll be a song.
Trust me, there'll be a song.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a lot of people. That's amazing. Eurovision's big, huh?
It's massive.
Oh wow. Okay, the dancers
Oh,
came from
that's-
there.
No, these aren't our
Okay.
people,
Oh,
and
my
I've
God.
got to say, I can't tell exactly what they're doing. They're just like
Just
hanging.
flying.
No, they are. They're just hanging.
Imagine they were like, they fell from somewhere and they're actually like, help!
Also, a late addition to this on the Saturday when everyone was travelling up to Liverpool was like, we want to try sunglasses to make the outfits more edgy.
Oh, no way.
And
Last
I
minute.
thought they meant like Matrix-esque. These
Yeah.
are Jackie O sunglasses. Like,
look
there's
good.
nothing edgy about them though.
Oh, right.
They're not edgy.
Yeah.
But look at the people.
But
like,
that was on a last minute thing, like throw the sunglasses on just to...
we'll try them in. It was fine. It was like, we'll try them in rehearsal. But
Okay. Oh, and you could have said no.
if
Right,
it didn't
right.
work. Yeah.
I like the outfits.
Come on, Ola.
Don't ask, don't get, Ola. She put it in her caption, so it's not a secret. But she asked, so she got.
Reaching out for opportunities, that's important. Look at them people on top.
Look,
That's so
they're just
funny.
hanging. They're just hanging.
It would be so funny if they fell. Not if they fell off that, but if that's why they were there, because they were supposed to be on the top and they were like, just stuck. We're not performing! We just actually fell from the roof! I haven't heard about Alexandra Burke in a while.
She does mostly like musical stuff now. She's also heavily pregnant.
Because she was for Sophia and Jen. She won, what was it?
X Factor.
X Factor.
Very long
A
time.
while ago.
A good
The
decade
singer.
ago now.
Oh,
She won X Factor. That's why she got famous
Right,
from the
right,
talent
right.
show. And then I guess
It
she's
was
been doing
her
music.
that kind of brought Jaquel Knight's name around because
Oh, yeah?
he choreographed for her then.
Oh, interesting. And it kind of
So yeah, I mean,
boosted him.
yeah, there was an audition for it, and I guess that would have been the first time a lot of us.
Did you watch the
had heard his name.
Whitney biopic?
Some of it. My parents were watching it the other day. Fine.
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know what. I love her music, so. Oh, that's it.
well.
No, it's not. But okay.
That was that 2 minutes 20.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the rest?
It is about
Alexandra.
It is about 4 minutes.
I couldn't find the full one. Is there more?
The full one's on Insta. There's about 2 minutes more, but do you get the gist?
Yeah, I think we get the gist. Yeah, you said you were going to tell us more.
Well, I just think it just insight, and it is very common to just not have the artist in rehearsal. And what will happen when that happens is you end up with an artist stood in front of a dance piece.
Yeah, right.
She she moved with it, but
there's a bit of a disconnect.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
But you said that happens a lot.
yeah. You can, if you have a stand-in, or it depends how adept the artist is as well,
like
because
picking
it's
up.
all good in having a stand-in or an assistant, like be them in the room. But if you're not getting hold of them until the day,
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to pick up what happened. Yeah.
and
some of them might not be
artists are
dancers.
really nervous people generally.
Well, yeah, because they've got
as
multiple
well.
things to think about. Just
Like
the
when
dance.
I did Queen's Jubilee, do you remember when Flawless did it with Kylie?
Vaguely.
Like
yeah.
I did that too, and she just watched everything once, and then she was just
Well, she's
in it.
famous for having a lot of dancers in her stuff, right? So.
she was just, but that just became the standard for me because I was fairly young when I did that,
You're like,
and
this
so I
is how
just
artists work.
expected, and then I was like, no, I don't.
You know, I meant to ask you about, and I never did. Was I was watching the J-Lo documentary.
Yeah,
Have you seen it? The
Yeah.
halftime thing, and she's like giving the dancers like advice on like how, and she's telling them to step it up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, my first thought was like, are you telling professional, like the highest level professional dancers how to do their job? And then I was like, actually, if
You
you're
are their
someone like
boss.
J-Lo, not only have you danced, but you've performed on big stages all your life, and you've been the center of attention on those huge stages. So actually, maybe not as a choreographer or whatever, but as a performing dancer, you probably do know more than these professional dancers, right? Like, would you take that?
And she was a professional. She danced
she was
for
a
Janet.
fly girl as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of, it's been a while since she's done that. You know,
Yeah,
these people
yeah,
are like
but
in
I
their
guess it
career.
depends who the artist is.
Yeah, right.
And I think J-Lo dancers, I would assume, would think what you thought.
It's
but
like
if I've
she's
got
someone's-
like, no offense, like Cheryl back in the day,
Right.
I'm just
You'd be
like, babe, like, no.
like, we're having to pull you, like,
I mean, I can be critiqued all day on my performance quality. I
Sure.
don't think that is my strength. So if an artist said to me, like, you know, wake up the babe,
Yeah, right,
or whatever, but not just anyone
no,
could
she
tell
was
me that
in the
about my
documentary. She was
dance
giving
skill.
like dance.
Like specific notes. I
Yeah.
think J-Lo's allowed.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
she danced up a storm for that performance.
That's the thing as well,
So-
and it's like, yeah, I mean, Beyonce is probably another one where it's like you take the criticism,
You
from
take
there.
the notes.
because it's like actually not like she's performing on the level of like the top level professional dancers, plus singing, plus it's
just
not her
it-
main job. Like,
Pressure being all on.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the dancers are like that's your one and only job is to be a professional dancer. She's on the level of a professional dancer while being a singer, while being a model, while having businesses. Like it's like a million things
While
in a day.
being like double your age.
yeah,
Take
for
the
real.
note.
That does matter.
Yeah.
I also on this, which is jokes, it's like, let's react. And then I've seen it and I'm the only one like saying anything about it. Sorry.
No, that's why we were here.
The point in the brief was made about like a diverse
Yeah.
cast, which it very
Yeah.
clearly is. And so when the measurement
No men,
form
though.
and stuff, well, smash the patriarchy.
One performance at a time.
We in the measurement form it had like notes and comments, and I just asked all the ladies to like just say your current, like what your hair's saying right now. Basically, diverse cast, they're gonna have different needs if people
Yeah.
got braids in or whatever
Right.
stuff. So we did that, and I kept on flagging like, haven't heard much about the hair and makeup brief, just want to make sure it's all taken care of. All that to say it was not on the day, which is fine, but it did make me think that instead of me asking as an agent if things are in place, it's just like stating what
This
needs to be
in place. Yeah.
Yeah.
and like they can take care of themselves, but you're so paying them more if that's what they're going to have to do.
Sure.
And it was, just a bit of a shame that like you've made a point of diversifying, but there wasn't that like follow through.
Yeah. If you want the
There.
diversity, you have to cater to it.
Yeah.
When you're behind the scenes.
Yeah, and also it's like, oh, do you just want the diversity on stage or
yeah.
all around?
I will say that about Eurovision in general. The cast was white.
Of the whole
The dancers.
dancers for what?
In
Just
general,
the show.
So do they have? I don't know how it works. I don't
because
really
each
watch it.
country has a show.
Yeah, but does each country bring their own?
Like now, it seemed like this time that wasn't the case. That there was just like a cast of dancers
now,
that danced for multiple artists.
What's the one? X Factor or like
Yeah.
that they always do. They have
Yeah.
one cast that performs.
And I
with everyone.
don't think Eurovision is generally that way, but this time at least it
Well,
was.
is there anything in the fact that like because it's in the UK, maybe they've like if they're like right, if you're bringing it to the UK, we're going to do it how we do things here, which is to have one
Yeah,
cast,
maybe.
and we're not paying for all your external
Maybe.
dancers.
But like super not diverse.
Interesting.
I think what was done choreographically was top freaking notch.
Do
but
we know
I couldn't help.
who was involved in that choreography?
Lucas.
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of it. McFarlane.
Sick.
Not all of it. I don't think I've seen people like, oh, thanks so much for choreographing this number, and it was other people, but Lucas was across a lot of it.
Sick. He's
But
very
yeah, I
legit.
can't help but notice that now.
Yeah.
Just across the board in anything. There was famously like a globe, Shakespeare's globe, like Merry Christmas thing from that they tweeted a picture of their team, and everyone just like, in 2020, this is what we're doing. And
The
it's just
Shakespeare-
like all white team.
Like the cast or
No, the staff.
at the Globe.
And it's
right?
like, we can't be doing this now,
Well, yeah,
y'all.
I mean, the Globe strikes me as a place that has white
That
stuff.
might be the way. Yeah.
It's like where it's like on the that what's that game where they with Steve Harvey and they're like you have to say what everyone answered and it's like the top. And he's like, show me.
like Family Fortunes.
Yeah,
kind of
it's
thing.
like what's the place that has the most white? Show me the globe.
Fair.
Followed by Harrods or something like that.
Potential. What do you think?
What do I think of the show? I thought it was cool. I mean, I didn't know this wasn't the full thing. I saw 2 minutes 20. I thought that was the full thing. But yeah, it seems cool. I actually didn't notice her not being integrated to the show until
You said it.
you said it.
Cool.
It didn't really stand out at me.
That was just more of like an industry tidbit than a criticism of
no, but it's it didn't like necessarily take away. I think it is cool when an artist dances, but you know what? For me, for my uneducated on this side of things, I think I'd rather see someone do that. I know she probably can dance. I'd rather see someone do that than try and dance and not being able to dance.
I hear it.
Whereas like if you got Beyonce or J-Lo, yeah, cool, do the thing because you'll kill it. But there's some artists I've seen on stage and it's like someone's tried to make you do this to be, but you look terrible. And it's awkward to watch that, you know?
Controversial.
Ooh.
Is Beyonce a good dancer or is she just Beyonce?
So
Because she's a goddess.
I vote yes because I saw her live with her last album, the one with Diamonds on the Partition. Play what's that album? Beyonce, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I saw.
I didn't know where you were going until you said partition. I'm not gonna lie.
Please. And it's like the dirtiest song ever.
It is, yeah.
Jesus Christ! And then there's like 12-year-olds singing it in the crowd.
Yeah.
But I went to there because we got my sister tickets to see it and I went to go see it with her, and I purposely didn't listen to the album before I went because I was like, I want to hear it the first time on stage. I have to say, and I was not necessarily like a Beyonce fan before. I wasn't like, oh, she's the best. I was just like, yeah, I know Beyonce because she's famous. I was blown away by that show. I thought she was amazing because it's like, I think I've seen videos and I've seen her on stage online, but to see her live singing, and you could tell she's like, you know, killing it live, and like her voice is amazing, but also watching someone dance live, I don't know why, but it connected a bit better than watching on music videos and stuff, because I'm like,
just what it takes to
do that. Like, I know how hard this is. And then watching the entire show, I was like, I've done Vice, which was 12 minutes. I've done a 30-minute show. This is like an hour and a half or whatever, like different numbers, and they're very choreo heavy. And I'm like, you're killing it in terms of stamina, and you're not young. You're like, you look amazing. Like, there's no point where you're pulling an ugly face or whatever. You're not out of breath because you're singing, like
Your
killing
guts
it.
out.
You're remembering all the different stuff. You're doing costume changes. You're remembering the transitions. It's like, I have some idea of what it takes to do what should, like, maybe more than the average Joe, like what it takes to do that. And I was like, I have to say my overwhelming impression was like, wow. However, having said that, I'm not very much in the world that you're in terms of working with artists and touring. And so like, I've seen not that, I saw Michael Jackson actually in New York, but, in London. But besides that, I've seen not that many shows of dancing singers. So my bar could be very low. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could watch it and be like, it's amazing because you don't know that. But like, I've seen, like with Ritora, you could be like, oh, she did this as good as Beyonce. I don't know because I don't see it. But just for me, I was like, wow, that's good. Just the whole show in general, and like with everything, it's just like, it's crazy to see that level of like, it's even like when I go see plays and stuff, and it's like, after like, we saw that 4-hour play, which was only one half of it.
Angels in America.
Yeah. And I'm in... You did? Yeah.
I mean,
actually
maybe it's
surprisingly
an
enjoyed
off-pod
it.
thing, but
Literally 4 hours. And that was the first half. But
mad.
I'm sitting there watching like, how do you remember all these fucking words? 4 hours of words you remember, like, but before anything else. 4 hours of like...
Their specialty.
I have... Guys at home, I have the 5 topics written on the screen because I can't remember them. One, 2, 3, 4,
and they're
5.
your topics. Like, they're things you've chosen to speak about.
And they remember 4 hours worth of words. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, it's just, I'm impressed by like those type of things as a somewhat performer, But yeah, to answer your question, I don't know objectively. Just my subjective
I don't
opinion.
even know my answer. Just interesting question.
This is the thing also that I feel like it's difficult to not as difficult to watch and to like evaluate the choreo, or not evaluate the choreography, but react, because it's filmed for her, so it's like,
with this Alexandra Burke, you mean?
yeah, like the way it's shot and edited is like she's the center of it, and then the dancers are like, I think in terms of the choreography, it's something that's way more supposed to be experienced live,
yeah.
you know, and like enjoyed as part of a whole performance. When you
Yes.
see a clip of it, it's like cut and edited that we mostly see the singer and then we see like someone's face and
Or cut off to someone hanging.
like arms in the back doing
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
So it's like, I think it looks great, and I didn't really click on what you said until you said it, that like
She's not
Great.
integrated.
yeah, but I think also I assume that okay, if it's a tour or a set show, then there's a lot more time for the artist to be integrated to the performance. And when it's a one-off, a show or an award ceremony, it's probably a lot more like they're doing other stuff and then they're just doing this one thing. And
Yo, after Rihanna, you got no excuse to be pregnant, innit? It's like it's like she did the whole Super Bowl. It's like you should move a little
because
bit.
bad gal be bad gal.
Yeah.
Riri.
I mean, she also barely moved, but she was
Oh, we got cast
way
on.
up high.
I don't know if it was me, Lee, and Abe that did the Super Bowl pod.
Review.
I watched it.
We got cast on TikTok for
Did you?
because the reel I put up was like Lee saying it's boring, and then me saying like I could do without the facials, and
Yes.
people were like, someone wrote imagine hating from outside the club or something like that, and then someone's like, facials are like the whole point of being a dancer, like how can you not like like what do you want them to do? And then they put little emojis, stand there like this, like with the like just like there's so many. It wasn't even like, it didn't even go that viral, but just even from the 1,000 views we got, it was
Right.
like people had issue with the fact that we didn't like it.
feelings.
I was like, listen, we're not the only people that didn't fucking like that show.
Yeah.
I love
liked it.
comments on TikTok.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. I mean, anyway, before we go back into the Super
Fine.
Bowl discussion, but yeah, we could have used you actually for that one. I think you were away or something. It would have been nice to have a balance because me, Lee, and Abe don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Which made it fun to watch.
Yeah, we were just talking shit, but yeah, it's just three people that have never could dance with an artist. We ain't that shit. Boring. Hey, listen, that's what podding's all about.
Congratulations, ladies. Love you lot.
Yes,
It was
Yeah.
a pleasure to represent you.
lovely to see. Yeah, lovely to see.
Lovely to see a style on stage. Like it was predominantly a whacking number, and
Yeah, and
that
shout out
was
to
a very
Rhymes.
good thing. Yeah.
Let's go Rams.
So to finish, do you want to tell us about the next?
It's just amusing.
We'll finish with a Tally's gears are grinded.
Yes.
Not so
Not
much.
so much, just a
Just like
A minor irritation.
I'm not even irritated by it. It's more of it's more wonderment.
okay. Just a mild confusion.
Mild confusion, and just I'd want the origin story, if
Okay.
I'm honest.
I have a theory.
So, in lots of generally commercial dancers, but working professional dancers' bios, I see a lot of agency represented, and I just wonder,
Like literally written.
agency represented. Some tag their agents, most don't though. It literally just says agency represented, and I'm just very curious as to who started it. Or like which maybe an agent advised it to be a thing and then it just became a thing. Who started it? Why? And does everyone that does it know why?
Almost definitely not.
I have a theory.
I also have a theory.
I think I have a theory.
All right,
too.
let's all do
go
our theories.
theory.
Go.
a hypothesis.
Hypotenuse.
Yes. So my hypothesis is that in the States, it's not the same having an agent as here.
Same, yeah.
And like you can
You have one.
Yeah, you have one
Yes.
agent, and I think they really kind of push you.
Like an
Yes.
actor here.
Yeah, it's a much different relationship, and I don't know exactly like the terms of the agencies in the States, but I think like once you're signed to an agency, all the work that you do has to go through that agency.
Yeah,
It's
you
not a
can't be out
thing-
there doing independent
Yeah,
stuff.
where you do like
At
you know
007.
yeah, or if you work with an artist, or if you do things that is within your industry, it has to go through your agency. So in the spirit of Instagram being at this point almost like a CV or like your website, basically, it's like it would make sense if I have one agent and all the work that I do is gonna go through there.
Like you say, don't hit me up because I have an agent.
Yeah, it's like if that person, if somebody sees me, then they're gonna have to go through like well, I don't know, like Block LA or whatever, and then so just I'm agency represented by Block LA, so
Talk
here's
to them.
Yeah, which is part of what like really bemuses me about it is because if I think that is the thing, because I thought about it with like musical theatre and actors, you do have one agent, so it would make sense. But who are they then?
Yeah.
Like if you want me to hit them up,
Yeah.
tell me
Well,
who
I
they
think
are.
I would imagine that's more of the UK thing where they're like,
Yeah.
either they don't want to say because it's not that great of an agent, or
because they've got
multiple.
20.
Yeah.
So then what's the flex?
So this is my theory comes in, is that it literally is a flex.
Yeah.
And it's because, I mean, this is also kind of one of your campaigns of like, just because you're not like working or professional as a dancer, you're still valid as a dancer. And I think this is probably the other side of that spectrum of them saying, yeah, but you're not an agency represented dancer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a way of putting yourself, because there's everybody's now is posting class clips. Everyone,
Fair.
Instagram could look like everyone else's. So this is them being like, oh no, but I'm one of the, this is a way of putting the blue verification check
Fair.
in their thing without you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like,
It's-
but I'm one of the represented ones.
It's so funny to think
Which I
about
don't necessarily agree with. I'm just saying that's probably why I think they come.
because I think maybe it's different for the
funny to
States
me.
as well. But I think like in terms of the access to different jobs, there's a lot of things in the States that if you don't have an agent, like there's no way you get to that casting or whatnot.
Can I just say
Yes.
one thing without
But-
being a dick?
Wait, can I finish my thought?
Sure.
A moment.
Do it then.
No, but that I lost my train of thought. No, go.
Was it about the States
Yeah.
Yeah, that
and not being able to get certain jobs?
or like a lot of it not being publicly advertised. I think like I feel like in the UK there's more that's accessible if you don't have an agent. Or
Maybe.
Like everything has to go through agents in the States. And not
yeah,
so much
everything
through
has
here.
to go through agent, and here I think there's more you can do freelance like
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
as
for
a
sure.
freelancer. So I think maybe also that's why it makes less sense to have that here, because you could find out and do these things on your own.
Yeah. I'm just, it's not like a shady thing. Again, like my tone is just like for banter's sake and like some of my
We're just
choice
podding,
of
guys.
words. But yeah, we're just podding, guys. Just podding.
It's all podding.
But like whenever I see it, I'm just like, okay. Like I just don't get as an agent, I don't get the use of it. Like I can't do any, if you haven't told me who, like I just can't do anything with it. So I don't understand it, but maybe it's not for me to understand
Well,
and that's fine.
Also, we have seen a trend where people would wear a shirt like this and tie a second shirt around their waist. So the logic side of things
It's
is
not
maybe
always
Oh, I thought you were alluding to our generation and our age.
No, just as a sense of like you're wearing a
Sense.
shirt and tying a second shirt
Well,
around
we've
your waist.
also seen the jumper half off.
Yeah,
And
Well,
you're
that-
just
there's a
at
little bit of
risk
logic in that.
Like,
because you're hot, but it's like having one leg out of the bed at night. It's like I'm too hot with it under, too cold with it out. So I get the
it distracts from the dance.
true, but this I see the the two shirts
I get
thing.
it, I get
I don't
it.
see logic, and the agency.
Fair enough.
So it's like I think it's just a trend, just like a fashion-y trend.
Fair.
thing.
I just wanted
mean,
to
the battle
pose the
scene's
question
not much
because
better, guys.
I just, yeah, it's bemused me because
Agency represented.
like I think I'm pretty left-brained and can get the logic behind the majority of things. I am entirely missing the logic behind this one.
Yeah.
so yeah, if your agency represented, do put your agent.
Yeah.
Also, it's
So it's
like,
not don't put
you know,
anything, it's put your agent.
No, but you know what I feel also is that's what I was gonna say about like being a freelancer, that if somebody hits you up, they don't necessarily need to go through your agent. So then if you're putting your agent for them to reach out to them, they're just gonna take 20%.
Yeah, which is definitely a thing. But
It's like, please pay my agent 20%.
Yeah.
I do advocate for having someone represent you if your agent does in fact know their stuff, and if they'll get you more money than you would have
Yeah.
doing it yourself. Like I get it, but that is a
hilarious.
thing.
But that's like, if that person can just hire you directly, then wouldn't it be in your best interest to like just deal with them?
do
Yeah.
it. I think the funniest part of it for me is knowing that a lot of people have just seen it being done,
Yeah,
the trend
yeah,
aspect
yeah,
of it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
gone, Me too.
That's the way to do it. Yeah,
But
it's almost certainly something that people have seen in like bigger dancers. Because even I find this with photo shoots.
Or MT people and actors.
Oh
like
yeah,
we've
yeah,
said.
sure. But there's like dance pictures that is like there's like 27,000 of the same. You know, like sitting on a stool with a certain type of lighting,
Yeah, yeah.
certain type of outfit, and it's like every.
Oh, the phase, like we had the
Yeah.
Anna Fowler phase, and like the softer, yeah, it's a thing.
And it's just-
Nick Pate.
Yeah, oh, the Nick Pate is the one I've seen the most of. It's like that same, and you know, shout out to him for getting all the business. But it's like I think when it's a thing of, you know, these assets for your professional work, people don't necessarily. It's not like I'm not seeing it as like them going, "What's the most creative photo shoot?" They're like, "What's a picture that's going to get me booked?" And if his pictures have
Good.
got them booked,
That is the purpose of
yeah,
it. so-
exactly, yeah. It's just funny because it's like. And I get it because you don't like, why do I have to learn about photography? It's what we were talking about earlier about buying a house. But like, what do I have to learn about photography? But it's like, it's not his specific pictures that gets you booked. It's something that he's showcasing. And if you learn that, you can get that from a multitude of
right.
photographers. You don't
It might make a
only
different
need one.
choice, yeah.
But it's just a quicker journey to just go, well, his is getting a lot of people booked. I'll just do what he does because he can solve that issue for me. So I get it. It's not, I'm not hating on that, but it's just funny to see everyone shoot in the same place with the same outfit, the same lighting. And it's like, that's the one that's going to get me booked. But yeah, tis what it is.
Tis what is.
And
And that's the.
that's how we do it. That's how the cookie crumbles, really.
That's the non-ground gears section.
Bemused.
Yeah. That's a bemused section.
Is there another word that means bemused? That's
I like
begins with a T?
bemused.
Tally,
Tallies.
tantalizing.
Tally's takes.
Tally's, no, well, tally talks is a thing.
Tally.
Tally talk, tally takes. No, bemused. Tally's bemused. We need someone called Bob. Bob's bemused.
Bob's bemused.
Bemusement.
Brian's bemusement. Brian Badonte. Do you remember that? Phone jacker.
Phone jacker. No.
All right, guys. It's been another episode of the Capsule. We are creeping up to 2 hours, so we'll leave you there. Hope you had a good few weeks while I was
Shingle shangling.
Shingle shangling.
That's Jenny's, by the way.
Yeah.
If you've got any shingles related puns that you'd
Shingle
like to
bells.
share with us.
What did you say? Shingle.
Shingles merrily on high.
Shingle, yeah.
Shingles Unchained.
That's the best one.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, but shingles.
Django,
The
shingle.
G in it.
Yeah.
Shingles and Django kind of, you know.
All right. Shingles Unchained.
The
yeah.
D is silent.
Please. Okay. Well, please make fun of me almost dying.
So sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah, hope you had a good one. Hope to see you around the place. Please keep tuned on the Capsule for all the content that is not pods as well as the pods. We have on the YouTube, if you're listening also, go check out the YouTube because we have the Cypher that just came. I changed the name, everyone.
Nope.
I called it the Rookie Cypher last year and people were not happy. So I changed it to the Capsule Cypher. So now there's a second edition of the Capsule Cypher. We had the structure and presentation video. We have obviously the podcast and the interviews, and there's a few more things I'm going to put out. So yeah, check it all out. And we love you if you've been tuning in and listening and subscribing and whatnot. And yeah, happy to be back. Happy to have my lovely people here. And yeah, peace out, guys.
Bye.